Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Way show. A little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast, Saturday. Why am I working on Saturday? I don't know. What are you going to do? Actually, I was actually working today, trying to get some stuff done. I couldn't get all the things I wanted to get done today. Even today, I couldn't. And I was trying to do more kind of householdy things today, some of those types of things, and still working to try my damnedest to close the deal. And boy, has it been challenging to say the least. This is my crunch time. 30 days until, well, 31 days, whatever, 30, something like that days till the election. Boys, is crunch time for me. So trying to make things happen, it is not easy, but we must keep going. So, but I'm here and doing what I want to do more often because I know a lot of you would like this, and I'm doing a AMA. I'm doing an Ask Me Anything because many of you want to just bug me with different types of questions and stuff, and I'm happy to have them. And it actually usually has a very interesting back and forth, which I enjoy. But as always, I wanted to start off, if I could, with a topic that was kind of hitting me, and I was thinking about this. Those of you who watched the show last night, I was talking about race last night, how it will affect the election. But I also want to bring up something else that's just hit recently, and that is the Hurricane Helene. Why do I bring that up, right? Why would I even bring that up? And that is because if you remember back, the damage being done now is obviously horrible. What's over 200 dead now? I forgot the number, but it's over 200 dead. And the damage is at least $30 billion. If not, it will be more. But so low end 30 billion, it'll probably be 100 billion, but at least that for sure. We know that already. So we know it's going to be a big deal. A lot of money, a lot of damage, a lot of death, right? A lot of pain, all those things. And if you remember back in the day when Katrina hit, they used that against Bush, right? They used it against Bush and tried to punish him later on. And it kind of worked. It was an attack against him, and it did work. The question is, will this work? I mean, we're talking about how FEMA has screwed up, how FEMA has, not done the right things, has stopped people from helping. Then there's that rumor that they don't have enough money because they gave it to the migrants. Then, of course, there's, where's all the money going? It's going to Ukraine. It's going to Israel. All that coming out. So many ways you could attack and, punish an incumbent president, as they did Katrina, right? I mean, look, whether you think Bush was responsible or not, or whether you think Biden's responsible or not, it happened on their watch. Democrat, Republican, happens on your watch, you're responsible. That's how that works. Fair or not, does not matter. Katrina was on Bush's watch. Helene is on Biden's watch. That's how it works. Whether you like that or not, that's true. The question that I have for this one, though, is, will the Harris campaign be able to dodge it as if like linked to Biden, but not linked to Harris? That is so far, they're actually doing a pretty good job. And the Trump campaign is not throwing this on Harris. They're throwing it on Biden. So it's actually not working right now, right? It's actually not working right now in the way that one would think. Well, now see, look, Harris has screwed this up. Right now, that's not working. Will they be able to turn it? I don't know. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. I think Harris has a chance here to spin this in a way where it's not her. And Biden's jumping on board. You probably saw that last interview he did. The interview, they were like, so let's see, what about the storm area? He's like, what storm? Like, if that was just him being lost, okay, that was lucky. But if it wasn't, well done. Yes, well done. So, yeah. Oh, Michael brings up a very important piece. Michael, this is home run here. Hurricane Sandy helped reelect Obama. True. It's important how Biden Harris handled this. Agreed. So far, not great. But yes, you're right there, Michael. I completely agree with that. It's a very valid point. If somehow she's able to make magic stuff happen, I mean, I don't see that. But yeah, absolutely. So, Patty, how are you? Pat says, Mother Nature is responsible, unpredictable, and seems mad at us. True, true, and true. And politically, we always blame the guy or gal who's president. Well, now it's always guy, but maybe one day gal. We always blame the guy who's president. So you're correct, Pat. That's true. And we go, well, you're president. It's your fault. That's kind of what we do. So, and I think Michael's point's a valid one. How will he handle it? If Biden does, or doesn't matter what Biden does, actually. If Harris is able to act like she's done something great or that it's not hers, she's great. 100%. She's just totally fine. So Pinkabell's in the house. How are you, Pinkabell? Pinkabell says she's dodged almost every negative from the administration except for the support of Israel. Yeah, I think that's true. Look, I know a lot of you watching don't like Harris. I get it. And I'm not supporting Harris or Trump in this case. You see, I very rarely say either one of them are better or worse. What I do is I try to say what they're actually doing, right? When they're screwing up and when they're doing a good thing. The Harris team has been very good, whatever they've been doing. I mean, they have allies in the media, obviously, but that isn't the point, right? That is what it is. That's the landscape you're in, right? They have been very good at kind of what you just said. Oh, it's negative? Well, that's Biden. Oh, it's positive? Oh, well, that's mine, right? They've been very good at that. And I said this before, if you remember this, the Trump team wasn't ready for Harris to come aboard. They weren't. They didn't listen to me. I told them when it was going to happen, if you remember. Back after that terrible debate, I said literally that weekend that Biden's people are trying to get the press to stop this. And if the press shuts up, Biden stays in. If the press doesn't shut up, Biden's gone. He can't do this without his allies in the media. He cannot. He cannot do it without them. And I told you all that. And then Monday, they were still talking. What did I say? Biden's dropping. I knew it because the press kept talking. What happened a week later? He dropped. Duh. That's how it works. That's the system. The Trump campaign was not ready for this. And they still haven't spun it right. And then you got to add that. And then you got to add RFK and Tulsi. And the Trump campaign has not adapted quickly enough. They just haven't. And they need to, or they're going to be in trouble. I'm being very forward. If they don't adapt, they're going to be in trouble. The Harris campaign basically just said, oh, it was Biden. Now it's Harris. Great. Now we just get rid of all the bad and just say the good. Oh, this is a great campaign. And we'll throw I don't know, freedom and joy, and we'll keep going. So yes, absolutely true. I think you've hit that perfectly. So I wanted to kind of bring that piece up because I thought it was important that we understand that. And will this affect the election? My gut says it will. My gut says Harris can't ignore this forever. My gut says the Trump campaign will adjust. I think far too slow, but I think they will adjust. And I think they're going to hang Hurricane Helene on Harris's head. I think they will try. And I think it will affect that. I do think it will. And this is North Carolina. That's a big state. And that's an important state, right? If this is hit I don't know, Washington State, who cares, right? Not for Washington. Sorry, I meant politically. Sorry, my friends in Washington. I didn't mean that. I meant politically. Sorry, that would have still sucked for Washington. I'm just saying politically, it was still going Harris, right? No matter what. But this is North Carolina. North Carolina could go either way. North Carolina could go Trump. North Carolina could go Harris. I think this will affect North Carolina. If I'm part of the Trump team, I am pushing this as this is all Harris's fault. She did it all. She basically made the weather. Right? I'm going to do all those things. I'm going to act like all of those were true. I am literally going to ignore Patty and go, nope, no, it wasn't Mother Nature. It was literally Harris. I'm doing that all day and all night. So I do think this could affect it. That's just my view because it's so bad. I mean, over 200 dead. If we don't know, it could be 300 when it's over. Who knows? All that damage. What if it's 100, 200 billion? Right? All that damage. Unless you can somehow, there is always one answer, and it's very funny. Kim already knows it. There is one answer. There's always one answer, and that answer is just print more money. That is the answer, isn't it? Isn't that the answer? Money machine go brr. That's always the answer, I guess. So it could be that, but look, at one point, it's a month left. Who am I kidding? Kim, you're right. I was about to try to find some answer what about? Yeah, you're right, Kim. I'm not going to bother. Print more money. That's the answer. We'll just do stimmy checks to everybody in North Carolina and put Harris's name on it. Yeah, we'll have Harris sign all the stimmy checks. Actually, not a bad idea. You know what? I've just talked myself into the answer. Yes, if I'm the Harris campaign, I'm like, okay, let's stop putting out stimmy checks. Everybody in North Carolina gets whatever, X thousands of dollars. Put Biden's name on it. See, I do love you. I am a generous king. There we go. Yes, I'm a generous God. I will give you all my largesse. Yes, I think that could work. So, all right. I just thought it was interesting. Thanks, guys. We'll talk about that more if you want. Let me grab a couple of these if I could. All righty. Mike's giving me crap already. See, already, Mike. You just started and you already give me crap already? See, I'm not on and Larry's back to normal. Okay, so all right. Can't blame me this time. This one's Missy's fault. All right, take that, Missy. That's your fault, Missy, because Mike wasn't on, and I don't want to take responsibility. So it's your fault, Missy. That's it. Done. That's all. Yes. Mike's starting trash right away. All right. Vivek says, does the Make America Healthy town hall event make it seem like one campaign? Do you think this will get droves of RFK supporters that Donald Trump needs? Two separate questions. And for those who don't know, there's going to be a Make America Healthy Again event October 8th. Forgot what time it is. I will find the time. See if I can find it real fast. But it is. It's an online event. For those of you who want to join, let me see. It's called the Maha Town Hall. That's what it's called. And it is, it absolutely is the 8th. I will give you the time right now for those of you who would like to go to it. It is 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's October 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's at USA24townhall.com if you want to check it out, for those of you who care. Supposedly it's going to be RFK, Trump, Tulsi, Robert Redfield, Casey Means, Mark Hyman, and Angela Stanton King. So a bunch of people supposed to be there. All right, so let me grab the two questions you asked. Does it seem like one campaign? No. Is it a step in the right direction? Yes. So it isn't a step in the right direction. Does it seem like one campaign yet? No, we're not there yet. But I think it is a step in the right campaign. As I keep saying, I think the Trump camp is shifting. I do see it shifting. My worry is now for the Trump campaign, and has been, can they do it fast enough? There's been a whole lot of change from Biden stepping down to Tulsi and RFK Jr. coming aboard. And the campaign has not, it's a big ship, right? If you imagine a big ship trying to turn, that ship is turning very slowly. It needs to turn faster. So the advantage that Harris has is she's just going. Like they just started up, boom. They went, oh my God, freedom and joy, yay. And they just went forward. So they had an advantage over Trump in this regard. And they've taken advantage of it. The Trump team is not going as fast as they should. My view. Obviously, you take whatever you think from me. My view, not fast enough. But I do think they are turning that ship around. It's just taking a whole lot longer than it should be. So I'm not even sure Trump shows up to this. I don't mean to be cruel. I'm not even sure he shows up. Maybe. I wouldn't guarantee it. If I were you, I wouldn't. So do you think this will get the droves of RFK Jr. supporters? No. But will it turn some? Yes. 100%. If this is the event they say, if it actually is that, oh my God, yes. There'll be people go, oh my God, okay. They're on the same stage. They're talking the same thing. I think, yes, this event, if done well, will absolutely help Trump. This is a good idea, right? And the one thing that Harris has been doing in the reverse is she's been having the star power piece, right? Which is her strength. Her strength isn't the policy side. That's not her strength. Harris's strength is the celebrity side. And she's been good going on celebrity shows. Trump goes on The View and blah, blah, blah. And they're all together. Good deal. That's her strength. They're doing it right. Trump should be doing more of this. This is going to be his strength, right? This is where he would shine. He should do more of this if he wants to move this thing forward. I hope I answered your question. Kim is here. Honey, I'm home. She hit the like button with a 10-pound sledgehammer. Ouch, you've ruined your machine. But she's still right. You should strike that button that is like. And if you don't do that, that means you hate America. There we go. That's what it means. If you don't hit the button known as like, you must hit the button known as like. It does matter. Please hit it. It does matter. Do so. You don't have to use a hammer if you don't have to. You can. I don't care what you hit it with. Finger, hammer, Don't use the hammer on the finger. That will hurt. But whatever you need, please do so. It does matter. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, please share this right now. Why are you looking at me? Share it now. Retweet it, repost it, whatever. All those things. If you have not subscribed, I don't know why you hate me. You know what? No, you don't hate me. You hate our troops. You haven't clicked subscribe. Why do you hate our troops? I don't know why you hate them. What have they done to you? How mean are you? Subscribe, notification, do so. If you want to rush to the front with your chats, super chat me if you want to. That's great. Super chat me on Larry Sharpe YouTube. If you're on Larry Sharpe YouTube, you can also click join if you want to. It is $5 per month, $4.99, but $5 per month to keep me going. Less work, more of this, more fun, all good. Kim is correct. Listen to Kim. Do as Kim says. She's right. Yes. All righty. So we will keep moving. I'll grab some more of these if I can. Let's see here. And the AC says, are you in a quantum? Yes, this is my bunker. My bunker. You guys know I'm a Marine, right? I mean, I literally have the tattoo. It's pretty, hold on. It's pretty crystal clear, isn't it? Hold on, can I see that? Yeah, pretty crystal clear, right? You can see the tattoo, right? Got that in 1989 in the Philippines. So yes, I thought I was cool back then. Not everybody had tattoos in 89. So I was a tough guy. Not anymore. So yes, not anymore. Sorry about that. Not anymore. So yes. All righty. All right. Vivek, perfect. If you don't hit the like button, you are for the deep state military industrial complex. Yeah. Not wrong. Not wrong. Michael says, will the Dems claim credit for the ILA tentative contract? 100% they will. Why wouldn't they? Of course they will. Absolutely. Of course they will. 100% they would do that. Yes, yes, and yes. Why wouldn't they? And they're going to act like, well, it's because they're going to blame Republicans for, of course, they're going to blame Republicans for everything, as, of course, take responsibility for everything. Yes. And they're going to act like, Harris herself was in the room, fighting to get for the rights of the union workers. You can guarantee that'll be a story they say. Yeah. She was fighting there. She was part of it all. Without her, they could have never done it. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. So I appreciate that piece. Lila says the Republicans are their worst enemies. I think that's often true. I mean, that's true on both sides. Often the problem is they spend so much time trying to keep themselves employed, and I get it. Look, I'm a consultant too. I want to be employed too, right? I'm with it. I want to get my check. Of course, everybody wants to be paid. Everybody wants to pay their bills. I'm a big fan of paying your bills. Leela, I hope you can pay your bills. Please pay your bills. That's awesome. Big fan of that. But they often spend so much time worried about that. They don't spend time worried about actually winning, right? That sometimes becomes secondary, as long as we can stay busy and stay employed. So yeah. Joseph has the answer. By the way, Joseph, thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. He says, Harris should just send them dreams and aspirations. Don't we all want that? That's the answer. See? And if you don't want that, that means you hate dreams. Why do you hate dreams? I don't know why you hate dreams. Mike right now is mad. Mike, why do you hate dreams? Why do you hate aspirations? I don't know why do you hate America? Why? This is dreams and aspirations. Joseph's right. If she just sends those, everything gets better. That's how it works. That's the magic of freedom and joy. Done and done. Joseph, you should have been, you missed your calling, brother. Better call him up. Say, hey, you need a consultant? I'm here. I'm here. You got it. Andrew says, mutual aid and community help wins. This piece is important that you just brought up, Andrew, and I'm glad you did. The issue here is you find that very often when FEMA and other large agencies get involved, one of the first things they do is cordon things off and push people away. It's one of the first things they do. And they make it hard and or impossible for someone who's there to actually help. And the worst part about that is very often when it comes to local things like that, the local people actually know better, right? You may go, well, they're not professionals. Yes, but what if your FEMA team is coming from Texas, right? I'm not saying the FEMA team is incompetent. It might be, it might not be. I don't know. They're just people. So let's assume that they're very competent, but they're from Texas. Do they know what's going on in Western North Carolina? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Have they been there before? Do they know the area? Maybe, and maybe not. But do the local people know? Yeah. They know that Johnny's in that house over there, and that house floods sometimes. So now we know that house is underwater, so let's go get Johnny. Like the local people know that. Don't go down that river. It's going to flood out to where you can't see anything, and there's going to be whatever, bad things here, mud here, whatever. They live there, so they're going to know better. So I think the mutual aid and community helps usually are some of the best ones. We saw this in New York during the blackout, 2003. I was here during it, New York City. Local people helped out tremendously. It was a very big deal. I was one of them. Then I had a car, and most people in New York City don't have a car. And when you have a car in New York City and you can drive around, I would drive people around because there were no lights and maybe they didn't want to drive. I am insane and I didn't care. And I drove with no traffic lights. I did not care because I'm crazy, but that's okay. I actually enjoyed it tremendously. But that's kind of besides the point. I'll tell you an interesting story on how nutty this was. 2003, there's a blackout in New York City. I was actually in Jersey. I was in Jersey because I was a sales rep and I was selling stuff. So I was in Jersey. That was part of my territory. At the time, my wife is at the she's at the one of the what building was it? One of the buildings in Manhattan. She's working there. So all of a sudden, I'm listening to radio, and it skips 7 seconds. You know, skip 7 seconds, and then like repeats. I was like, what? Why is that happening? At that point, I knew there was a blackout. Why? Most of you who haven't worked in radio won't know this, but if you work in radio, you know there is a 7-second delay from most radio. So in case someone likes this is a bad word or something, you can beep them, right? So most radio has about a 7-second delay. Well, what also radio stations have to have, if you're going to be on the airwaves, is you have to have a generator. You must, because you must be available for the airwaves in the case of emergency. So, but when that happens, the 7-second delay machine is gone. There's no delay anymore. So once it happened, I said, oh, power outage, because I knew the generator kicked in, 7-second machine is gone. It's now blatantly live with no 7 seconds. I'm like, that's odd. Then I realized it's a blackout. Oh my God. So I have to get home, right? Can't call anybody because, of course, the towers are all down. So I have to cross the George Washington Bridge. People are standing in line because when the power's out, how do you pay? Right back then, you just would either easy pass or you throw your money in or whatever that kind of back. But now that you don't anymore, right? But then they did. So I was like, oh, I'm not standing in line. I just blew by. They can't catch me. Cameras don't work. No electricity. I just blew right by everybody. They're all like, we got to pay. No, you don't. Drive right by. Yes, I literally broke the law. Yep, I did. Didn't care. Then I got on George Washington Bridge. Almost no one's there because they're all stacked up trying to somehow pay cash or something. So I just went right by, got there. I went over 100 miles an hour across George Washington Bridge because I had to get home. I had a family. I'm getting home. So I'm over 100 miles an hour driving across the George Washington Bridge, driving through Queens, driving through the Bronx, and there's no traffic lights because there's no power. So the cops can't catch me. Why? They're all directing traffic. So there's nobody to catch speeders. They can't direct traffic. So I zip across and I meet my wife at the Marine Corps recruiting office outside of the 59th Street Bridge in Queens. For those of you know the area, you know what I'm talking about. It's a recruiting station there. I meet her there. She comes out with 2 other friends, and they meet me there. And they're like, "How did he know to meet you? How did it happen?" This is also a true story. See, I'm in a bunker. I got some prepper in me. Yes, I do. I have some prepper in me. And I was like, if something goes wrong and we can't get a hold of each other, you walk across 59th Street Bridge, I will be waiting for you right here. No matter what happens, I'll be waiting for you right here. I will stay here until you get here. Cross that bridge. I'll be here. We knew that. We had that planned for years. So when it actually happened, I knew what to do. She knew what to do. She walked across the bridge. There I was. Picked her up, dropped her friends off, the whole deal. That's community, my friend. That's community. I'm sorry, I went down a road, but I just thought you guys would enjoy that story. It's a true story. Yes, I am a lawbreaker sometimes. What are you going to do? It does happen. I could have lied, but what good would that do? You would find out whatever I'd say anyway. And I do follow the Gary Johnson motto, which is just don't lie. You don't have to remember things. So if I tell that story again, it'll be the same story. You'll know that I didn't lie. It'll be the same story. So yeah. Anyway, interesting story. Thank you for that, Andrew. I do appreciate it. So, all righty. Let's see if I can grab this. Okay, there's so many that I appreciate it. Missy, thank you. After I blamed you, you're still nice to me. Highlight your comments, a question for Larry to read live. Do a super chat. Yep, helps support the show. She is correct. That is a good idea. Yes, 100%. All righty. Some more of these here if I can grab. Nancy says, Biden screwed up major with this hurricane. Yes, the question again is, will it, right? Will it or not? Will it affect him or will it go to somebody else? I don't know. Yes. So, and if a hurricane hits Washington State. Okay, I know that was weird. Okay, AC, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Now everybody's a comedian now. That's okay. You're all comedians now. Okay. All right. You know what I meant if a disaster were to hit Washington State. But yes, but if a hurricane hit Washington State, that would definitely be some news. That's for sure. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys, I had to put on a fan. It was getting a tad hot in here, and I wanted to do that, and I did not want to do it and be unprofessional and have you guys see me being unprofessional because I'm professional in my Quonset hut in my bunker. Absolutely. So yes. Anyway, in any case, yes, Joseph, Kamala did make the weather. It is her fault. Absolutely. 100%. She said she was trying to create a freedom and joy hurricane. You know how hard that is, Joseph? You're sitting there talking trash. You try to create one. You try to create one. You can't. Shh. You can't. So she couldn't either. And this is what happens. There was just, you know what it was? There was so much freedom and joy. This happens. This happens. Michael thinks the funding shortage will stick out the most. I have a feeling you're right on this one because they're right now shifting the narrative on that. If you've seen it, if you've watched any of the news now, FEMA is saying, no, we have two separate funds. One is called the, I forgot. Anyway, one is like a immigration fund and one is like a people get hurt fund. I forgot the name of it. SSP is one and the other one is something else. I forgot the name of two funds, but there's two separate funds. And they're saying, no. The hurricane fund, no, that's separate. That doesn't happen. You know, we don't do that. Is this left pocket, right pocket, right? Same pair of pants? I don't know, but I think you're right. I think this one to me seems like a big one, right? The fund, because it's such an easy target. So many people are affected by migrants, and some people are worried about that in the border. It's a perfect target, right? If I'm the Trump administration, this is what I'm hitting hard. I agree with you, Mike. I'd be all over this. If I'm Harris, I got to dodge this like there's no tomorrow. I gotta be Neo from the Matrix. I gotta be Neo from the Matrix. I gotta dodge this because you're right. That is a big one, 100%. Pat says, we get played by the media every day. Then the politicians act according to the media. Harris better grab some paper towels without cleaning up now. I bet if Jimmy Carter wasn't on his deathbed, he'd grab a hammer and start building. Oh, Patty. You make me wish Jimmy Carter, the best ex-president we've ever had. I mean, not even close. He's a great ex-president. I wish every president, once they were gone, would copy him. Like, once you're done, go copy Jimmy Carter. Do that. He's the best ex-president we've ever had in my lifetime. I can't think of a better. I mean, maybe there's one before. I can't think of one. But yeah, great ex-president. I agree completely, Patty. He would, if he wasn't literally dying, and he is literally dying, he's in hospice, he'd be out there, right? He'd be in North Carolina, like, all right, let's get some houses built. That will be him right now. You are correct. You are correct, 100%. Yes. So, all right. Let's see here. Nancy says, Trump has raised over $4 million. He gave it to a government entity and the money disappeared. The government gave it to the illegals. Trump is angry. Trump's words, they still, I didn't hear this story. Nancy, I did not hear this story. Okay. No, I got to look into this. This one. I have not heard this. Absolutely. Kim says, damn it, Larry, don't give her any ideas. I'm sorry. It's kind of what I do. This is literally what I do. This is like my life. That's why I go through this all the time. Yes, absolutely. Yes. The A says, he said, go burr. It does go burr. Yes, it does. Yes, that's what it says. It just keeps going. The money keeps popping out. The money just keeps popping out. Yes. Ooh, I like that, Leela. Missy versus Mike. I've put them against each other. Now they'll fight to the death. I love it. That's great. Yes. Mike goes on. So, talking about Mike. Thing is, Trump team has to wait for Harris to screw up, or it looks like they're campaigning on the dead. Yeah. Okay. Here's how we'll know, right? If you're right, Mike. Here's how we'll know. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm saying here's how we'll know if you're right. If the second she does, the messaging is right on point. Because you should have talking points for this. Literally, for those who've seen me go on TV or go on the radio or be on podcasts, very often before I go, I will know what I'm going to say. Why? I create talking points. So I know what I'm going to say. When I help others, you've probably seen other people who are supporting this year, specifically RFK Jr., who've gone on and said fun things and things. Very often it's because of my talking points, right? I will create talking points and send them. These are talking points. Take them. You look at them and go, oh, yeah, good, 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 good. It's spin, all the things, right? That's what it is. You look at what's happening, put together a good spin, talking points, put it into small bites so that you know you can, because if you're going on regular, if you're going on, what people don't realize is a difference now. A lot of people haven't gotten this yet. If you're going on a more mainstream, excuse me, station, any mainstream station, radio, TV, doesn't matter if it's mainstream, you're going to get maybe 6 minutes, maybe 12 minutes if you're lucky. I mean, maybe, right? If you're really lucky, they'll give you a whole half hour, but that's rare, right? You get 6 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that. That's what you're going to get. So and they're going to be talking because they're the host. They got to sound smart and stuff. Maybe they're going to show a little bit of video before you come on, that kind of stuff. So you only need a couple of minutes. You've got to be able to say your piece in a sound bitey way. You have to be able to say it. You can't say everything. Like some people are like, Larry didn't cover this or that. I got 6 minutes, man. I got 6 minutes. And I got to figure out which talking points to the land best. And I also can't use a talking point that's totally not what they're talking about. They sometimes will also not tell you what you're talking about. They'll say, we're going to talk about X. You show up. Oh, no, we've changed. We're talking about Y now. God damn it. Now I got to figure out how to put my talking points into this new thing, right? Which can be challenging. And you see sometimes people mess up because they don't have any idea. I was on once where it was exactly the opposite thing. I done homework for one thing and I come on and say, oh, no, it's this. I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting there doing song and dance the whole time because I'm not ready for it. It does happen. So if they have that ready, Mike, and the second it starts, you see the boom, talking point, bam, bam, effective talking points, then you are correct. They're prepping effectively and ready for it. If not, and I don't know yet, right? To be forward, since the turn, that time frame where Biden became, Harris was anointed, right? And then Kennedy jumps on, I have not been crazy impressed by what Trump team has done so far. It hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been great. I've been more impressed with the Harris team right now. More impressed at the moment with the Harris team. I think they've done a better job, team to team. This is what I think right now. And again, to be forward, that is expected. They had an advantage. I mean, they knew it. They were prepped. They had one way. Trump's got a massive boat he's got to turn. So he is at a disadvantage. But again, the world doesn't care. November 5th is the day. Turn that boat. I don't mean to be cruel, but yeah, you got to turn that boat. That's it. So, all righty. You say go Burr very well, but not nearly as cutely as Pinkerbell does. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Gru Scott, thank you so much, Gene. Thank you for that first comment. I appreciate it. Absolutely, I do appreciate it. All right, let me grab, if I could, a couple of super chats. First, Slongy, you're back. I love that. So much getting super chats rolling. $2. I agree. Thank you for that. I appreciate every super chat counts. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's keep this going. Peace Logic, how are you, brother? My friend Tom is concerned that if Trump pulls out quickly from Ukraine, if elected, it makes us look weak and gives China permission to invade Taiwan. Thoughts? No. China will invade Taiwan if it wants to, regardless. If anything, and this is the thing to remember, here's why your friend Tom is incorrect. If anything, if Taiwan was just going to invade, they would invade while Ukraine's going on. They wouldn't wait till after. Why would they wait till after? If we pull out, that now means NATO forces can be sent to or can go to Taiwan if we decide to defend Taiwan. I'm not sure we will, to be forward to. I don't know if we will. But assuming that we will, it opens up NATO forces. It opens up NATO money. It opens up NATO arms to go to Taiwan. If you're going to invade, do it now. Do it now. Right now, Ukraine is losing the war right now, right? They were winning before. Right? At one point, they were winning, but end of 23, was it? Whatever. At one point, they were like beating the Russians back. They were winning at one point. Not anymore. Right now, they're losing. So that means America has two choices. Allow Ukraine to lose, option one. Option two, throw everything into Ukraine and try to save it. They might do either, right? If they do that, how are you going to stop Taiwan? If they want to invade Taiwan, this is AMA, so I'm going to tell you something. China's not going to invade Taiwan. That's not going to happen. They don't want to. They don't want to invade. They want Taiwan. They don't want to invade it. They want to threaten it. They want Taiwan to agree to an agreement. Some kind of two states, one government BS agreement, like they had with Hong Kong, and then they broke. They do the same thing with Taiwan and then break it. China will do the same thing. China will create some type of agreement. I don't know what that'll look like, but it's something like Taiwan is a semi-autonomous region within the Chinese country or something like that. They'll do something like that. Taiwan will agree. America will have to walk away because it will now be China. And then China will slowly over time dominate Taiwan. And I think that I will probably take, I don't give or take 30 years. How do I know that? That's what happened with Hong Kong. That's what happened with Hong Kong. Remember when I took over Hong Kong? Hong Kong was ready to go into revolt. Like, no. We'll do 2 states or 2 nations in one country, whatever they did with Hong Kong, right? That thing. And that was 92. That was 30 years ago. And now Hong Kong, basically China. There's a little bit difference, but basically China. 20 years from now, it's just China. Chinese don't mind taking 50 years. They're good. So they will make the agreement. 50 years later, Taiwan will be China. And they don't mind. 50 years is fine. It's fine. They lost it 60 years? No, 80 years ago? Yeah. They lost Taiwan 80 years ago, give or take, right? 75 years ago. They lost Taiwan about 75 years ago. They can wait. They don't mind. It's a threat. They're not going to invade. I know people think I'm crazy. I don't care. I'm right. That's going to happen. Why did not want to invade? An amphibious invasion into Taiwan will do 2 things. Cause massive amounts of death, number 1. Number 2, massive amounts of destruction, number 2. What's the actual value of Taiwan? It's industry. Why would you want to blow its industry up? It's like, why would you want to blow up Taiwan, Hong Kong? It's a banking industry, massive banking industry. HBC is a Hong Kong bank. Yes. Well, HSBC, sorry, used to be a Hong Kong bank, but still, basically, banking industry is massive there. So what do you mean in Taiwan? It's the industry you want. So why would I bomb it into existence, into nothing? Why would I do that? Why would I literally in an amphibious assault against Taiwan? Can you imagine the amount of death that will be involved in that? And you'd be fighting the U.S. Navy directly. You imagine the amount of death that would happen in an amphibious assault on Taiwan. Not going to happen. The worst they would do is surround it and try somehow to starve it, right? Maybe they would try to starve it. Somehow siege Taiwan. That'd be the only thing they could maybe do. Maybe that take years to siege Taiwan. Literally years. But they could try it. But then what, you're gonna fight the American Navy? Is the American Navy going to allow a siege of Taiwan? It's not going to happen. This is talk. It's not going to happen. And you think I'm crazy. I don't care. I've been writing all these things. It's not going to happen. An amphibious invasion of Taiwan would cost, I'm not even joking, tens of thousands of casualties within a week. Tens of thousands. And the Navy's getting involved. How many ships go to the bottom of the ocean? Each one of them with hundreds, if not thousands of people on them? All those ships going to the bottom of the ocean? You want U.S. Navy ships going to the bottom of the ocean? They will. You want Chinese ships go to the bottom of the ocean? They will. Not going to happen. That's a fantasy. And all those fighter aircraft getting destroyed above it, all the aircraft carriers, the Chinese will sink our aircraft carriers. They'll do whatever it could. Just like when sinking an aircraft carrier is like winning a battle. Ask the Japanese back in World War II. It's like winning a battle. They would literally they would make their their submarines massive suicide torpedoes. And they would just sink our carriers if they could. It's insane. Not going to happen. So no, he's totally incorrect. It's not true. They're not related in that regard whatsoever. It will happen or it won't. I know some of you can be mad, but I can't wait for the comments. Tell me how wrong I am. But I'm still right. But the second piece is Trump pulling out from Ukraine. It depends how he does it. If he does it the way Biden did Afghanistan, you're right. Oh my God, I hope he doesn't do that. If he does it the way Biden did Afghanistan, you are correct. He will look terrible. We will look weak. Yes, that's true. But if he doesn't, no. Knowing what Trump does, here is my assumption on how he'll deal with it. If I had to guess how Trump would deal with it, he would give Putin something to make Putin look good enough so that Putin can say he won. And he'll get Zelensky out of there in some way. Let him come back to his villa in Florida or whatever. He'll get Zelensky out of there, give Putin some kind of win, and install some type of government that America and Russia can be happy with. That is my gut. That's what I think he would do. Knowing him, that is my gut. He will also threaten Putin because people think he loves Putin. He does not love Putin. He respects the strength because he does respect strength. And some people hate him for it. I get it. I'm just telling you the truth. This is who he is. He does respect strength. He loves the strong man stuff. He does love that stuff. Doesn't mean he likes Putin. It means he respects the strength. So he will threaten him because he wants to be tough guy too. Trump wants to be tough guy. For you Trump supporters, you might not like me saying that, but it's still true. He likes being tough guy. So he'll be like, I'm tough guy. I'm tougher than you. Accept this. Go back, tell your people you won, and we're going to stop fighting. That would be my guess on what he'll do. And I don't think I have anything to do with Taiwan at all. I hope I answered your question. So now for you guys to tell me how wrong I am. Okay, yes. All right. Let's see here. Let me go down here if I can. So many that appreciate it. Yes. Piggy says, when in doubt, blame the woman in the room. I see you. Yeah. Well, I usually don't. I usually blame Mike. And last I checked, Mike's not a woman. So I usually don't. I just decided this time, look, equal opportunity blamer. See that? See that? I was being woke. Look at that. I was being woke. See, I get woke points for that one. There we go. Yes. Lila says, Maha, October 8th. Yes, that is true. Absolutely, that is true. Jennifer goes on to say, hey, thanks for being a member, Jennifer. I really appreciate it. Hey, Larry and friends, I'm discussing with this hurricane response. Me too. Yeah. Me too. I agree. It's not been great. The unwashed sword. Oh, I like that. $10. Thank you for that. Just got here, Larry. Can you do a rundown on the low FEMA funds and Repubs voting against additional dollars recently? And the FEMA dollars, I like to deliver immigrants, how all that coincides. All right, that's a long one, but let me try to give you the best I can. As I mentioned earlier, there were actually two separate funds. I forgot that. See if I can find the name of the funds. I forgot the name of them. Hold on, see if I can find them here. Hold on. There are two, the names of the funds. Okay, one of the name of the funds is the SSP. It is a Shelter and Services Program that is separate from the disaster program. So they are two separate ones. And according to FEMA, the SSP one, that's the one that goes to the migrants, and the other one that goes to the hurricane survivors. That's what they say. And they say that the money's short, but it's not because of the migrants, because they have a separate fund. That is what FEMA is saying, right? The funds are low because I guess we've had lots of disasters this year, or they didn't give money, whatever. That's what they're saying. FEMA's saying not their fault, not immigrants' fault, the migrants' fault. That's what FEMA's saying. Now, here's the reality. They're right. There are two separate funds. True. That's an accurate statement. But it's two pockets, same pair of pants. It's like me. I have multiple entities. I don't have one company. I have multiple companies. Of course. So my money. Just saying. Right? But yes, I have separate companies. It's true. They do separate things. Right? Because I'm going to get in trouble for the government. So when I do different things, I must have different companies do separate things, or they get mad at me and go, wait a minute, you're this or you're that. I have to, for those of you who know business, when you create a company, you have to decide what that company does. It must have a title according to the government. It must have not a title, category by the government. The government gives it a category. Well, I do a lot of different stuff. So I really can't have one company because I do so many different things. So if I did thing A with company B, why does that? Something's wrong. Something's fishy. Something's wrong, right? So I can't, if I'm a retail store, as an example, I can't all of a sudden decide, well, now I am an advertising agency. The government doesn't like that. They get mad. So if you have a retail store and you also advertising, you want to have two separate entities, one that does advertising and one that's a retail store. Government goes, okay, we can control you well. We like that. I do many things. I have multiple companies for things that I do. Many people do this. I'm not the only guy in the world who does that. Lots of people do that because that's how government works. So FEMA is similar in this regard. It's all their money. And if they swap dollars in between, they can all they want. They can do so. It's not against the law to swap out the dollars. They can. And the issue is, the problem is they're trying to show, the Republicans are trying to show, and this goes back to, was it Michael? I think it was Mike, you brought this up, saying that the FEMA dollars is going to be the biggest piece. I think that's the whole piece here, right here, unwashed sword. I think the concept is the Republicans don't want to have more. They don't want to have more money because they want to show that's how it works. And it's going to say, well, it's going to go to migrants. It might. They're not wrong on this. It might. So this is going to be a spin that both sides are going to try to grab. Democrats are going to say, this will be the Democrat spin versus Republican spin. Democratic spin will be Republicans hate Americans. That's why they're not letting the additional money come in. It's not about the migrants. These are separate issues. They're lying to you. Republicans bad. That's Democratic spin. Republican spin will be Democrats screws you. They gave all the money to the migrants. We're not going to give more money to migrants when Americans are suffering. That's why we said no, because the migrants are going to get more money, and it's got to go into Americans. It's America first. That will be the two spins. Who believes what? There we go. But it is kind of muddy, if that makes any sense. Hope I answered your question right. I'm not sure if I answered it right. I think that's what you meant. Macy, thank you for the $99. Maha, October 8th. There it is right there. mahanow.org, Maha-Town Hall. There we go. For those who want to go, it's right there for you. So all good. All right, I'll grab some more of this if I can. Jennifer goes on to say Harris is doing a horrible job as VP. I'm sorry, I was never a fan. But Joseph says Harris looks confident. Joseph, I'm with you. There are a lot of people who have been saying, Trump's going to win this. No chance Trump's going to win this. This is 50-50. I'm the first guy to predict stuff. I predict stuff all the time. I just predicted China and Taiwan. I predict stuff all the time. I predicted Biden dropping out. I predict all the time. I won't touch this one. So, and you see me. You guys have been following me. I predict all the time. No, that's going to happen. I just say it right out. I'm not ready to say either one's going to win. In my mind, an October surprise could change everything. Like literally, one October surprise and Harris is going to win it. One October surprise, Trump's going to win it. I do not see this. This is 50-50 in my eyes. I know people think I'm crazy, but yeah, of course Harris is confident. Everyone around is telling she's going to win because they're going out of the way. At the moment, if you look at what the problem is, at the moment, the polls are so tight that they're all within margin of error. So do the polls right now favor Harris? They do. That's true. But they're all within a margin of error. And traditionally, Trump has done better than polling. So if she's ahead by one, maybe Trump's ahead by one. Maybe it's even. Right? To think this is the same as 2016, no. Pollsters have changed how they do things because they're trying to get better. So they do make adjustments within their stuff for the idea of Trump not getting his, not doing better than polling. There have been some adjustments. So who knows how good those are? I'm telling you, if I'm on either campaign, I'm sweating it. If I'm on either campaign, I'm sweating it right now. This is not an easy done deal at all. Just being very forward with you, Joseph. That's why she's so, that's why she's so confident, because everyone around her is telling her she's great. So yes, Dr. Thunder in the house, brother. How are you? Salute back to you, my friend. 100%. Yes. Gene says, I liked and shared too. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. All right. Patty says, both candidates prove if you keep voting for less two evils, you will only keep getting evil. Only the worse each time. Yeah. I know. Absolutely. 100% true. So it is kind of funny. So, all right. Let's see here. If I can go down here. Pinkerbo says, wow, that tattoo's as old as I am. Yeah. So when you were born, I was carrying a rifle in the Philippines. That's true. Back in the day when we had the M16A2 service rifle, for those of you who know your weaponry, that was the cool weapon of the day. We had the M16A2 service rifle. That is no longer the case. And not just that, the Marine Corps has gotten rid of all of its armor. No more tanks in the Marine Corps. All gone. They used to be Marine armor. Those days are gone. Now they're only going with infantry fighting vehicles and such. That's all. 100%. All righty here. That Liberty lady says, I just moderated for 3 hours on a conservative live stream. I'm here to counter that 3 hours. Thank you, lady. There we go. All right. Do I got to be more lefty then? Okay. I'll try to be more lefty if I can. I love it. There we go. All righty. Let's see here. I want to grab some more of these. Pila says, come on, Larry, you need a full sleeve tattoo to be cool now. I know. The funny part is, it's funny when you look at people now, how things have changed. When I was growing up as a kid, only tough guys had tattoos, right? And if you had a sleeve tattoo, oh, you're basically a biker. You're basically a murderer, right? Basically, you're a murderer, basically, right? Now, like, everybody has tattoos. Doesn't matter. Like women, men, guys who are tough, guys who aren't tough. It doesn't really matter. It is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how that's true. It's very different. And that's not a thing. I'm already a tough guy, brother. I don't need no more tattoos. I'm tough already. I'm already a tough guy. Don't need it. But yeah, that's what I thought. I don't think I'd ever. I have no reasoning on the tattoo now, right? I got a tattoo because for those of you who know in the military, so many people get tattoos in the military, and particularly Marines. And I always tease when I meet Marines, I go, "Where's your USMC?" And very often someone goes, "Oh, it's here, where?" Pull it off, and it's a tattoo someplace. It's very common. It's very common that happens. So yeah. All righty. Let's see if I can go down here. Lila says there were so many smart businessy things Republicans when they held the executive branch, as well as both houses of Congress, etc. Generally speaking, you will find Republicans, and I'm not sure that's true now, but I think it's still true. Generally speaking, Republicans have been more pro-business than Democrats have been. Democrats have been more pro-labor traditionally, but that's kind of mixing around now. I'm not sure it's still true. Like, I feel like many of them have shifted, and sadly, the establishment of both parties is heavily still about big business, right? Big pharma, big oil, big business. Both of the elites of both sides, the establishment of both sides. The more junior people or the more ground people, they tend to be more pro-labor. Even Republicans, if you look at like the average Republican on the street, right? That person, the organizer or the voter, they tend to be more labor. So yeah, I think that's really the issue. The establishment's still pro-business on both Democrats and Republicans. But actually, right now, and this is going to change. If you go back 30 years, 20 years, I mean, all of the establishment Republicans were like big business, big ag, big everything. Now it's all established Democrats. Democrats are all big about big business, big ag, big tobacco, everything. That's kind of switched. Don't get me wrong, establishment Republicans are still that way, but not to the same level. They are different in that regard. They are different. And they've been held hostage by different ones of different industries. So yeah. All righty. See if I can go down here. All righty. If I can go down here. Missy says, I remember that blackout. I felt bad for all the New Yorkers. Yeah, it was New York City. 8.5 million people. No power for days. I remember that. 100%. That was crazy. That was a crazy time, right? That was a crazy time. Kim says, just seen Dolly Parton is personally donating $1 million to the hurricane and her businesses are matching. Look at that. See that? Individuals can make a difference. They can, right? They can. Individuals can make a difference. Absolutely. And often, they're stopped. The AC says, so about that, Larry, I have a friend who can't get the license back because the EasyPass company sued her and she owes him $69,000. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. This stuff is a disaster. Yes. This was a gift to private companies. It was a gift, as always. As you hear me say on this channel all the time, government is a jobs program. That's what it is. And people get mad when I say it. I don't care. It is true. And what happens all the time is I want to get elected. I'm going to have to give the Easy Pass, to somebody, right? The reason why the Easy Pass piece works, many of you don't know this. She actually doesn't owe the Easy Pass company anything anymore. I'm pretty sure of this. She no longer. She now owes a collection agency something. What they do is how this works is they make all of these mail-in things. Now, why in the world? Why would New York State say, don't worry about it, just drive and we'll mail you the bill because we have your address on file, right? Why would that? That seems insanely inefficient. And you'll just pay and blah, blah, blah. Because they know that some people are not going to get it, not going to see it, going to forget and not pay. The point is to not pay. You go, wait a minute, Larry. I thought the point is to pay. No. The point is to not pay, right? AC's friend didn't rack up $69,000 worth of tolls. He hasn't told me this, but I know how this works. That's not what happened, right? She didn't get $69,000 worth of tolls. That's not what happened. There were late fees and added on fees and legal fees and fines and blah, 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 blah. That's what happened. And that's why they're hoping people don't pay. Because if my toll is whatever, $20 or my toll is, right? Was it $18 now? Whatever it is. Whatever the $15, my toll is $15. If I don't pay a couple times, or I miss it, or it goes to the wrong address. Well, now it's late. So they add a fee of another $15. And then it's a percentage. And then every month and blah, blah, blah. And it keeps going. And you go to court. Wait a minute, I can't afford this. I can't afford. Now it's $1,500 for last month. I can't afford that. So you fight it. They go, oh, great. You're fighting it? More fees, more legal fees, more this. And while you're fighting it, the fees keep going on. Now, why would the city want this? Several reasons. Number one, the city doesn't actually collect. That's why he says the Easy Pass company. Neither is Easy Pass. They don't actually collect. What they do is they sell the debt. So now maybe his friend, I'm making this up for sake of argument, was $2,000 in actual whatever fine or whatever, in actual tolls. Maybe that. Okay. So the city's owed $2,000. When they get $69,000, so what do? You sell to a collection company, right? And the collection company will buy that debt 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar, whatever they buy. So they buy for 20 cents on the dollar, right? So 20% of that they're going to give to the company and to the city. Well, 20% of that's about what, 14 grand? So they're going to buy that for 14 grand. Well, it was only 2 grand. Well, now they got 14. So the city takes the 14 grand. All the lawyers the city have are on payroll. So there's no extra money for the city lawyers. They're on payroll. They don't care. I'm not joking. They're all on payroll. There's literally a massive city, bunch of lawyers. They're all on payroll. The amount the city pays doesn't change, whether there's 45 lawsuits or 2 lawsuits. They don't care. So no change in that. So the city now is again 2 fingers, 14. Easy Pass company gets whatever that cut is. It cuts probably at least 10, 20%, I guess. Right? So that's a guess. So the Easy Pass gets 3 grand. They would have got like 700. They just made 3 times their money. And the city gets 11 grand. They would have only get $1,500. Oh my God, win, win, win. Collection company says, all right, you owe us $69,000. We'll be good. Give us 20 grand. We'll call it even. Your friend goes, fine. Gives him 20 grand. Well, they haven't paid 14 grand for the debt. They made 6 grand. Do you see the massive money grift I just told you? That's every day. That's every day. So they purposely put the system into play so they can mooch more. And everybody made money. Collection agency in this fictitious case made 6 grand. New York State made at least freaking 8 grand. And Easy Pass made at least 2 grand off your friend. No one, your friend's not paying $69,000. That's not happening. She's not paying it. If she could have afforded it, she'd have paid the first time. It would never got here. And again, you have it. He hasn't told me this. I know this already. Like this, because that happens all the time. This is all a massive grift. That's how this works. That's why they're happy. They're not mad about this. You think the city's mad that people aren't paying their bills? Like, yeah, don't have to pay. We'll keep doing this to you. Of course. And now your friend who's trying to get ahead in life, right? He's now screwed. He's now screwed. How's he going to survive without a license? Go to work, pay his bills. They don't care. They don't care. Of course, they don't care at all. So I appreciate you bringing that up. It's absolutely true. That's how it works. I went down the road again, I know, but that does matter. That is exactly how it works constantly. And AC, if you tell me if I'm right on that, I appreciate it. If I even hit close to what happened, I assume that's what happened. Yes. He says, yes, we get that. You're not kidding, Larry. Yes. Thank you. You get it. I'm not kidding. That's how it actually works. That's literally how it works. Yes. Picker Bell says, Total Tag was charging an expired card of mine for like a year. Yes. Thank you. And the fees they wanted me to pay on was astronomical. F that. I didn't have to pay for the F up in the end, but boy, was I mad. Well, here's the point, Picker Bell. See, you were savvy enough to say, I'm not paying. What if you're not savvy enough? What if you're afraid? What if you're an immigrant and don't know? Worse, what if you already have a criminal record and you're afraid of that coming out and you're afraid of going back to jail? You just pay. You just find a way. How are you going to pay? You can do something stupid or ruin your life. So you're right, but you were savvy enough to be like, I don't have to do this. I don't mind. But wait a minute. What happens when you have to? There we go. AC says she had to pay a lawyer. Yep. Instead of $1,000. Yep. And get her license back and had to declare bankruptcy. Bingo. Yes. Thank you. Is that what I said? Guys, I didn't know this in advance. I did not know this in advance. That's how it works every single time. That's the way it works. That is the way it works all the time. So yeah, I don't have magic powers. I wish I did. It'd be pretty cool, but I don't. It's just how it works every single time. It doesn't stop. And the whole system is made to keep doing that. There we go. Let's see here. Adrian says, I agree. Carter's a good man. 100%, Adrian. Thank you for being a member, by the way. Thank you so much for that. Yes, he's the best ex-president we've had, hands down. They should all just copy him. They should all just copy him. Yes. NNY Liberty says, no one wants to say it's all part of a government political shell game with funds. This is my point. This is why I think Michael brought us up early. He's like, the biggest part of this is going to be the FEMA funds. I think he's right. I think you're right. Right? They can try to say it's in the two silos. I get it. They can say that. The question is, who's going to buy it? Right? That's the question. Who's going to buy it? If people buy it, okay. But if they don't, I don't know. I don't know. Gene's on my side. This POTUS race is close. Yes, it is. It is close. I know people think I'm nuts, but it is close. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pink says, are migrants immune from hurricane damage? No, I'm sure migrants were affected also. The question I was bringing up, Pink, as I often do, I don't know if this is for me or for somebody else, but as I often do, is I'm not even talking about what's right or wrong or true or false, if you noticed. I'm talking about how the system works, right? What they're thinking. If I say this often enough, I hope that many of you, and some of you are already there. Some of you are already past this already. Some of you listening aren't there yet. You're kind of picking it up. Understanding how the system actually works and what things actually mean, right? Why things are actually done and why people say what they say and how they say it. So I tell you sometimes, how I deal with things, because you'll know that when you see someone on TV, oh, that guy went through this. Have you noticed when I show you people who are doing some things on TV, I tell you what they're thinking. I tell you why they said it. Now you go, see, he was prepared. Oh, he wasn't prepared. All those things. So this is why I bring this up, just to make sure. So, all righty. Let's see here. Phil, how about you, my friend? The Cuban Missile Crisis was ended with the Soviets publicly pulling missiles out of Cuba and the U.S. Nike missiles quietly taking up Turkey and Italy. I'm sure we'd quietly give Russia a win in exchange for a public victory in Ukraine. My point exactly. I think you agree with me, right? Yeah. I think that's how he'll do it. I think it's how he'll do it. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Lila says, translation of Larry's tutorial, SSP and FEMA. Thank you, Lila. I had to rush to look on the internet real fast. I forgot what the names of them were. So thank you for that. Yes, the SSP and FEMA. Thank you. I forgot which ones. 100%. That makes more sense. So I can't remember everything. I do forget things sometimes. Yes. Jean says, when I was in 8th grade, one of my teachers had grown up in Germany in the 30s and 40s. One day she asked the class if we thought what happened in Germany could happen here. One by one, all of my classmates said no. I was last. I said yes. Teacher asked me why. And I said, because nobody thinks it can. Gene, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. I can't describe the look on her face, but then forget it. All right. Again, you guys know my day job. I'm a trainer, coach, teacher for things like business and politics, whatever the case may be. One of the things I teach is influence. It's one of the things I teach. And for those of you who don't know, there's a great book. The book is called Influence, Science, and Practice by Dr. Robert Cialdini. Brilliant guy. I think Arizona. I think out of Arizona. He talks about 6 laws of influence, and I express how they work on everybody, no matter what. Then I tell the people in class, here are the 6 laws. Here's how they work. And back in the day, I don't use this as much now, but you can still. But you go back 15 years, and one of the best people who used this was the TV station QVC, right? You go there, you watch TV, and they say, oh, here's this cool thing, and blah, blah, blah. And they use all the laws to move you. And I said, do me a favor, watch all these laws, have them listed in front of you somehow, either on your tablet or a piece of paper, whatever, have it there. And then just watch at least 20 minutes of QVC. And look at that and watch what they're doing. I will show you exactly how they're using all 6 laws. And even though you know all 6 laws and you're watching and you know they're manipulating you, here's what I promise you would do. And I said, watch a show for something you usually would not want to buy. So if you don't like fishing, watch a show where they're selling a fishing rod. If you don't like jewelry, watch a show when they're, selling jewelry, whatever. Watch a show that's something you usually would not buy. And I guarantee you within those 20 minutes, you will at least say, it's not a bad gift. You will say that. Like, what do you mean? Do it. And they would go and come back. My classes would go 6 or 8 weeks, once a week, right? So they come back a week later and be like, Larry, my God, you're right. I took my friend with me. We did it again. It happened every time. I thought, yeah, it's not a bad gift. And I knew they were doing it to me. And it didn't matter. I said, exactly. To your exact point, Gene, the best defense against being influenced is knowing you can be influenced. Knowing that no matter what, you can. Me, you, all of us can. The second you think you can't be influenced, that's when you're in trouble. The second you think I'm too smart for that, that's when you're in trouble. Because none of us are too smart for that. I teach it. I'm not immune to it. Nobody is. It is simply things they will do. The best defense against being influenced is knowing you can be influenced. Gene, that is very savvy and correct. I'll give you one more interesting tidbit on this. The average IQ of a cult member is higher than the average IQ of the average American. You might say, what? That doesn't seem right. I thought cults are for dumb people, but everyone thinks. No, not true at all. No, because people who aren't as IQ may be street smart. Very common, right? So you're street smart. So when a guy's peddling his cult, you may not be the smartest, you may not be the best book learning person in the world. You may not be, but you're street smart. So you can hear the BS and you go, no, thanks, man. No, thanks. I'm out. So, okay, you don't have the highest IQ, but you're street smart. You don't buy it. But the guy or gal who's very high IQ, very smart, high IQ says, oh, that makes sense. And clearly I'm super smart. So even though he's telling me the spaceship's coming tomorrow, if I believe it, the spaceship must be coming. So I'm going to join the cult. Literally true. Literally true. So, Gene, I know I went long on that, but man, that is a brilliant comment. Well done for you. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really do appreciate that. So, Riot Stickers, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. I had the M16A2 and the M249 saw. Yes, I had the saw too. Saw, by the way, stands for Squad Automatic Weapon. He is mostly being ignored by the Trump campaign. Do you think RFK Jr. regressed dropping out at this point? Okay, two massively separate points. Let me cover both. One, I never liked the saw. For those of you who know what that is, it kind of has a carrying handle on it and a massive ammunition dump at the barrel at the bottom of it, right? And boy, I mean, if they fly out, I mean, when you pull a trigger, I mean, wow, a lot of rounds come out of that damn thing. I never liked it. I know we're getting rid of it now, and we should. I'm not happy with it. I'm glad it's going away. The saw was a bad weapon for two reasons. One, it's loud. That thing, the actual barrel, would shake and you could hear it. You could hear someone carrying a saw freaking a mile away because it would shake. If you remember right, carrying one, it's like as you have to fire all the rounds or none of them because it has to be filled. Otherwise, it shakes. Well, and it's plastic. The barrel's plastic. Not the barrel. Sorry, I keep saying barrel. I'm sorry. The magazine is plastic. So it's bouncing around in there. Who thought of that? Terrible. The saws, and it actually, it's going to sound dumb, it fires too much. It fires 5.56 rounds, which it fires M16A2 service rifle rounds, same round. So if I'm going to throw all my rounds to the saw and I'm going to spray 40,000 rounds downrange to kill two dudes, I'd rather put it in my M16s. I get 3-round burst. If I got to put some rounds downrange, and M60 is a way better machine gun. If you want a machine gun, M60, way better machine gun. If I got to take a choice between saw and 60, 60 is a whole lot heavier. You got to hump that damn thing. For those of you infantrymen know, humping a 60, way easier than humping a 50, which I've done both. But you're humping a 60, the war's not going to end. You can hump a 60, got to get a gunner. He can still have extra ammo, still works. Tripod's not that bad. 2 barrels. This is not a bad deal. I thought the saw was a terrible weapon. I didn't like it at all. I'm glad we got rid of it. I'd rather have a 60. I'd rather have no saw. 4 riflemen in 3 fire teams and a 60 team. Give me a separate 60 team. No, because for those who don't know, and back in this time that Ryan's talking about, right? You have 3 fire teams in every Marine Corps squad, and each one has a saw. So you have 3 saws. I'd rather have no saws. I'd rather just have riflemen and give me 160 team instead. MC team instead, happy as can be, would not comply. I got a whole platoon that way. I got 3 squads with 360s. I'm ready to charge anything. I got that. I'm good. Anyway, talking some detailed Marine Corps stuff. So thank you for that, Ride Sticker. I agree. Let me go down to the other piece. I am concerned still. I know some of you don't like me saying it. I tend to make many of you unhappy with what I say. But I definitely think that they have not coalesced yet. I hope this October 8th thing that's happening that we've been talking about is going to be the start. I hope it is. Do I think RFK regrets dropping out at this point? If I had to look into his heart right now, I would bet he's disappointed. It will be what I would say. Disappointed. I'm not sure he regrets it yet. We'll find out, but I don't think he regrets it yet. There's still chances for things to go well for RFK. There's some chances, but I think he's disappointed. That's what I would say. I hope that answers your question. Blue Black versus Machine Gun Larry. Thank you for the $2. Yes. I like 60s. I think 60s are, the M60 is one of the best machine guns America's ever made. The Mar Deuce, which is the 50 cal, is also great. Another great weapon. But the problem with the 50 cal is overkill for everything. For those, 50 cals, it's a half-inch wide bullet. Like, you don't need that to kill somebody. And the sad part is now, when you're hitting things like trucks and such, trucks, Jeeps, Humvees, I mean, you can't beat 50 cal. It will rip those things to pieces, shut them all down, stop in their tracks. But today's modern, most of today's modern armor, 50 cal bounces off. Most modern armor, 50 cal bounces off. So the 50 cal is in a spot where it's too big for this, but too small for that. It's a beautiful machine gun, but it's not usable, right? I mean, you used to fight against like aircraft and stuff, but who's using 50 cal against an aircraft now? I don't know. As much as I love the weapon, I don't see it. M60 is still valuable to this day. You can still hump that thing to this day. Does not matter. It still works. If the Ukraine would take it, the Israeli army would take it. I mean, still a good weapon. Hasn't changed. The M2 kind of not so much anymore. So, any case, thanks for that. My Marine Corps stuff comes out sometimes. It does. I know. All righty. Let's see here if I can grab some more of these. I appreciate all the back and forth. James says, burning money away yet again. Yes, absolutely. Hold on. Where is Pete when we need him? Where is Pete when we need him? I don't know. So that's good. All righty. NNY says, there's also questions why FEMA is paying to house migrants. Where does that fit into their mission? Oh, interesting. Yeah, there we go. Well, I think it is part of their mission in general, right? It's emergency. So I think that's true. It is an emergency. So yeah, I think it is. But the question is, when you have a problem with Americans, you have to somehow make that number one. Like, you have to somehow make that, whatever your mission is, right? You have to somehow make it to where it's number one. That's the piece. So, all righty. Kim says, Alan Lichtman keys to the White House. He says, Harris, what do you think, Larry? As I said, I don't think, I'm not prepared to make a decision on that at all. And I usually do. In this case, I see it as 50-50. But a lot of people I know are saying Harris has got this in the bag already. A lot of them are saying that. They are. They're right. Alan Lichtman's one of them. He has was it 13 keys and you have to have 7 of them. Is that right, Kim? He has 13 keys. And I think if you have 7 of the keys or more, you win. And it's been right for like everyone except for 2000. He picked the Gore and he was off on that one. But everything else, he's been right. I think that's correct. You correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. And he thinks Harris has got it. You're right. So does, and look, a lot of people do. So I'm telling you, I'm not prepared to say that. Yes. Mr. Matt's Arcade says, what's an October surprise? I keep hearing that term. I don't know what it is. The issue is the last month of the election is October, right? Because then November 5th, the rule is it's the first Tuesday after the first Monday. That's the rule of November. The first Tuesday after the first Monday so it can't be, if November 1 is a Tuesday, it can't be that Tuesday. So it's always at least November 2nd or further, because then November 1 will be a Monday, then 2 will be a Tuesday. That's the rule. The first Tuesday after the first Monday is the election. That's our rule. So October is when you actually are able to, make something happen. And the problem is you make it happen in October, so no one can respond, right? So the big one people are talking about, which I don't know is going to happen. I'm not saying this, Mr. Matt. I'm just saying one of them is Biden gets removed with the 25th Amendment. and Harris becomes the president here in October. And then now she's the incumbent now. Well, how do you stop that? How do you fix that? How do you handle that? If you're Trump campaign, you got 3 weeks left and all of a sudden Harris is president. What do you do? That's the kind of thing. Or something I think would be more common is like there's some beautiful agreement in Ukraine and Harris makes the agreement or whatever. Something like that happens, right? Or there's some agreement in Israel and Harris makes the agreement. And then how do you counter that as a Trump campaign in 2 or 3 weeks? That's called the October surprise, right? Something like that happens. Sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's chance, right? There's another attempt on one of them. That happens and then it unites the country. And how do you fight that, right? That kind of thing. So that's what October surprise is. It's the idea that something happens that's big and then there's no really way to get around it, that piece. So yes. So Oscar, how are you, my friend? It's been a while. Yes, the M16A2. I had the same one with 1st Battalion. Yep, absolutely. That was the thing, man. If you were in during that time, that's what you had. That was our weapon. We had to name our weapons, by the way. I named mine Elizabeth. That was a name. So yes, absolutely. Jennifer says, I have 2 tattoos, but I have no desire for any more. Yeah, I have just one and I'm done, right? I'm good. I don't think there's any more. So, and AC says, I know some women with beautiful sleeves. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there could be something hot about certain tattoos, certain none, but there's some tattoos that could be pretty hot. I'm with you, AC. I'm not complaining. I'm with you. Yes, I am totally with you. Gene says, body art is beautiful, in my humble opinion. I would go with some is. Some. There's some not so good. So there we go. Felicia says, my husband is a Marine and never got a tattoo. There's a couple, Felicia. There's a couple of that who don't. I'm another guy who doesn't have one. This is probably like a month ago. It does happen. Not every Marine has a tattoo, but so many do. Like so many do. But you're right. Not all. Absolutely. Yes. So, all righty. Mike goes on. Yes. In 86, only bikers, prison, or military have tattoos. Yes. Back then, it was seen negatively in general. It's true. Yeah. I was a tough guy for having my tattoo. Not anymore. But yes, absolutely. See, AC goes on. Thank you. As a naval career aviator, my dad knew too many dudes with effed up tattoos. Yes. And this is my point. They're not all beautiful, Gene. Many of them are. Yes. But not many. But not all. Pickabell says, thank you again for being a member. That's the first thing my Marine buddy shows off. USMC tattoo. See, most of us do have it. It's true. Most Marines, not all, but most. Usually it's on arm or chest. Almost always arm or chest. Usually either upper arm, usually, or upper chest. That's the norm, but it can be anywhere if they have it. But it's the most common ones. So yes. Let's see if I can keep going. Oh, Missy says, love sleeve tats, but I don't have the funds to do one. Many are beautiful. There we go. Okay. There we go. I like that. Okay. Let's see here. Right. You already said that. I already covered that one. That one's not for me. That one's not for me. Okay. Wow. You guys going back. I appreciate it very much. 100%. We'll keep going. Pinkabell asks, again, thank you for being a member of Pinkabell. What's Easy Pass? Easy Pass is the electronic way of paying for tolls in New York State in general and across the East Coast, actually, up and down many parts. I think it goes to north at least Massachusetts, if not further up, and down to at least Virginia, if not lower. The East Coast, wherever you are, you have an Easy Pass. It's a little piece you put into your windshield, and as you drive by, they see it and they bill you. And it's usually billed directly to your credit card, usually. If you don't have it, right, they do is they get a picture of your license plate and then get the address from your license plate and then send you the bill in the mail if you don't have Easy Pass. So say you're not from this area, you're driving in New York State, you want to get around some bridge, you can go by, but they will mail you the bill. You need to pay it by mail. That's how it works. It's called Easy Pass. Yes. So Peace Logic, brother. Thank you for the $100. I appreciate it. A very good super chat. Larry deserves your support with all his experiences, subscribing to be a member at $5. Oh, thank you. He's right. You should all. I'm giving you cool stories about all kind of cool stuff. So, and I'm taking all your comments live. So he's right. $5 is not too much to spend for that. He's right. $5 is cheap. Do your part. Share his channel with everyone you know. We all need to interrogate our mind, participate, and learn. Love and peace to you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it so much. Yes. The funny thing I think you get from me in this case is I do all these things just live. I just talk, right? I just listen. That's why I try to do an AMA at least once a week so that I can have this back and forth, right? I try to do this. And I also love that when I'm not doing AMA and when I have a guest or I'm talking about a specific thing or I'm doing a review or I'm talking with me or me and Mike are yelling at each other, whatever, when that's happening, you guys in your own will be back and forth. So this becomes a place to have a real conversation. And I would ask you, can you think of another show that is politically / culturally orientated, usually politically, where it's done live? Most just essays or people talking or videos or that kind of thing. This is me chatting with you, going down a road that you want to go. And I'm a political consultant, so I know all this inside stuff. I give you tons of inside information on how stuff actually works. That's the piece that I think is interesting. And I hope you find it interesting. I really hope you do. And if you do, and you want to become a member, please do so. You can do it at Larry Sharpe YouTube. Click that join button. It's $5 per month. The more this happens, the more I can do this, the less I can work, right? That's the issue. The more I can spend time doing this, the less I can work. That's why I'm doing it, to support the channel. And the more I can spend time doing something else, which is promoting the channel, which I don't do. I do almost none of. I don't have the time or the money to do so, right? So I need to promote the channel also to get it to grow bigger and more people come on, get better guests on, all those things. You see, I have some decent guests. It's not because the show's doing so well. It's because they all know me. Because half of them have worked with me in some case. That's why I get those guests. It's not because my show is so huge. It's because they know me. That's the reason why. So why don't I get my show huger and then I'll get the bigger guests that I don't have to know every one of them. So yes, also. But you can super chat me as you saw that Peace Lodge did. Thank you so much for that, brother. If you want to, also on Larry Sharpe YouTube. But no matter what, please subscribe or follow or whatever the case may be, wherever you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button. You're watching on Twitter, follow me. If you're watching on Facebook, follow me, right? Whatever it is, friend me, whatever the case may be, do the thing. And if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook and you can share it, please share it, repost it. It does matter. Under any and all circumstances, no matter what, you must smash the button known as like, or you hate America. So don't hate America. Don't do that. Smash the button known as like. Do that now. It does matter. So yes. All righty. Let me keep going down here if I can. I covered a bunch of these. I want to make sure I'm grabbing some of the other ones here. And I do appreciate you guys going back and forth, right? I do appreciate that. So Connor says, what are the implications of the Israeli strike on France's oil in London? It's a major escalation. It's another drop in the bucket of escalation. Drop in a bucket, my friend. The French now all of a sudden going to stop bombing Israel. Drop in a bucket. That's all it is. Drop in a bucket. Drop in a bucket. That's all it is. The French are going to stop bombing Israel. They'll scream and cry and whine or whatever, but that's about it. Drop in a bucket. It's already escalating, right? That's why I had to show the other day about this that I was concerned about. I am worried. Was it 2 days ago on the show? This Israeli Lebanon incursion, this one worries me. But Larry, the other ones, as I said, no, if you really care, watch that show from 2 days ago. I said why this one matters. Connor, you are correct to be concerned, but I just don't think this is any bigger than all the rest. No, this is the same. It's just stepping up, stepping up, stepping up, stepping up, stepping up. It's terrible. So yes. That Liberty Lady says, I'm happy now. I could never have this conversation on a stream I was just on. 1 hour, Larry brought me back to reality. Thank you. Yes. Gene, you have fans here. Man Nomad says, that was brilliant, Gene. Yes, 100%. It was literally, that was brilliant. That's why I spent so much time on it. It was brilliant, Gene. That's amazing. I'm glad. Yes. Joel says, I hate when I recognize I'm being brainwashed. I actually love it. I actually like the game. I'm like, oh my God, it's working. I'm feeling it. Like, I love it. As I notice it, I'm able to stop it. Let me see if I can find that book real fast. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that book. There are so many of them. By the way, if you guys actually want to buy books on stuff, you can go to, if you care, you can go to my LinkedIn profile. I have a LinkedIn profile under Larry Sharpe. You see it's my face, all my stuff there. And look at the articles I have. And one of the articles is books you should read. And it's a list of 15 books that you should read. They're about sales, influence, and entrepreneurship. So if you want to be involved in those things, you can head right over there. And the list is right there. And it's all links how you can get it. They're all on Audible if you like Audible, or if you prefer getting Kindle, if you want to get a physical book. All of the books that I recommend are on all three. So whatever is your way of taking in that book, it's there. And it's free. Just take it. I mean, the books aren't free. You got to buy them. But the list is free. Just take it. So yes. So we can find, if I can find that book real fast. There it is. Yes. I found it. All righty. Let me see what I can do here. And I will show you, for those of you who care. I don't know if you guys care or not, but I will sit there at my, this is literally my own screen here. You can see this here. This is the book, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, national bestseller. Great book from 2006. He has others. The one before was called Science and something or other, but this is his newest one. So if you want to watch it, read it. Great book. Anything by him is going to be good. So hope that was clear. All righty. Let's see here. Pinkerberg goes on to say, no one's immune from propaganda. Yes, the best we can do is know what to look for, 100%. And there are literally 6 laws of influence. In fact, another guy, actually a friend of mine, Kevin Hogan, a brilliant guy out of Minnesota, he expanded the 6 laws into 11 laws. Or was it 9? To 9 laws of influence. He added a couple more. Kevin Hogan's brilliant. Spent a lot of time in Europe recently. He's been on my show before. If you go back, like Kevin Hogan, Larry Sharpe, we're in a show together before. So he's been on my show before. He's brilliant. I've never got Cialdini on my show. But I know Kevin. He's a libertarian also. So that's how I got him on my show. But he's great. He's written many books. And he's a brilliant guy. Hypnotist, the whole deal. Big influence guy. He also written many books. Any book that Cialdini's written is great. Read it. Any book Kevin Hogan has written, read it. And the last person is Dr. Mark Goulston. Dr. Mark Goulston, a friend of mine. He used to be he's out of LA. Oh, is he LA? California. He used to be a guy who dealt with hostage negotiations. His influence stuff is amazing. He wrote a book called Just Listen. Gold. Any book by Dr. Mark Goulston, any book by Robert Cialdini, and any book by Kevin Hogan, if you care about influence, read them. You will be better at defense because you can see it coming, right? You can see it coming. And if you can see it coming, you can stop it. If you can't see it coming, it's too late. That's it. So Joseph says, so if I know I'm the dumbest person in the room, do I have any chance at all? You're good. Like, you're good. As long as you're street smart, Joe. So be street smart. But yeah, you're good. Yeah. For those of you who don't know this, IQ isn't the be all end all at all. People have thought that for years. They've tried all kind of social experiments. It's demonstrably not the be all end all. There is one place where having a high IQ directly correlates with success. Only one. And you can probably imagine what that is. Academia. So if you want to be a professor, if you want to be like a researcher like that, IQ is your thing. Like that's the thing. Academia, you will go very far with a very high IQ. You want to have a high IQ in that field. In every other arena, high IQ does not correlate to success. I'm not joking. You can do your own homework on that. That's a fact. If you want to be a professor or be in that academic world and you do not have a high IQ, you are making a mistake. That's not the field for you. If you have a very high IQ, that's your field. Go there. Otherwise, you can go anywhere and do whatever. The average IQ is between 84? Yeah, 84 and 114, if not mistaken. That's right. 84 and 114 is average IQ. Over 114 means you're in somehow above average, whatever that is. And over, I think, 145, I think that's right, is genius level. So something like that. For business, to be successful in business, again, this is documented if you want to check it out. The best IQ is actually between about 130, 140. That gives you the most chance of success. Doesn't mean you'll be successful. IQ does not mean you'll be successful. It does not mean it. You might be, you might not be. The opposite is true, though. If your IQ is over 145 and you're in business, not in academia, the odds of your success go down. Yes, you might think that's crazy. No, it goes down because people with very high IQs very often have trouble communicating, understanding, and relating very often. So the odds of you having high success in business, I'm talking business now, in business with a very high IQ the odds go down. Doesn't mean you can't. You can have success in anything, but the odds go down. If you want to be successful in business, an IQ between 130 and 140, that's your best chance of success by IQ. But as you know, anyone who's been in business, you know, hard work can beat all of that. And it may sound trite. I know it sounds trite, but trite or not, in business, it's often true. So you can have a lower IQ and out hustle somebody. You see it all the time. So anyway, Joseph, as long as you're street smart, you are good, my friend. You are good. Absolutely. All righty. Patty says, there's a teacher, Jane Elliott, who teaches a class on Germany in the 30s and 40s and racism, sexism, all the isms. She starts the class by making blue-eyed people sit in the back of the room, brown-eyed people sit in the front. And if they're green-eyed people, she tells them to stay if they want, but her class is too smart for them and the blue-eyed people. When people argue with her, she explains how Germany was able to do what they did. Ooh, interesting. I like that. That's an interesting way of doing it. Yes, absolutely. I love that. All right. Dave says, Larry, the people burning books in Nazi Germany were college students. Yeah. They were the smart ones. Thank you, Dave. They were the smart ones. Yes. Nancy says, I've always jumped around in presidential elections. I'm too independent. I'm with you. I voted for, my first vote was for George H.W. Bush. The first one, I was in the military, and I thought he was my commander in chief. So I was loyal. So I voted for him, my first vote. My next two votes were Perot. Yes. My next two votes were for Nader. Then I thought Obama was going to change the world. Boy, was I wrong on that one. And then I went to Gary Johnson twice and Joe Jorgensen. So I voted once time for a Republican, one time for a Democrat, the rest all for third parties. So yeah, that's true. What are you going to do? It's true. All righty. NNY Liberty says, listening to the AI vocal translation of some of the H-man, for those of you listening, the Austrian with the funny mustache took over Germany. And I always say he's the Austrian. He was not German. He was Austrian. Was shocking if you don't think about what you know about history. He kind of makes sense. I'm not going to go there. You're going to get me canceled. I'm not saying that. Nope. Here's what I will go on to. He knew what to say to which audience, not to say it. Yes, I don't want to be canceled. No, it's not true. Don't get me canceled. Okay. You guys trying to get me canceled here. Wow. All right. Jennifer says, thank you for being a member, Jennifer. I really appreciate the membership. Oh, did you hear David Axelrod say Dems in North Carolina will vote and the other voters will not be able to in the nonchalant way? Did you hear David? Oh, because they're going to be in more rural areas that are trying. Oh, no, I did not. I get it. It took me a couple seconds, Jennifer, as you were talking to get it. I did not hear that. Okay. Now I got homework to do. I have homework to do now. I don't know. Okay. I have homework. Yes. So Dave says, Larry, Department of Defense replaced the M4 and the M249. No. Yeah, I'm aware. The M60 was replaced by is that right? They replaced the M60 already? Where have I been? I missed that one. Is that recent, Dave, or was I asleep at the wheel on that one? I got to check it out. I did not hear the 60 was replaced. I did not know that. Either I was asleep at the wheel, or it's new. One of the others. I was not ready. I did not know that. That's an interesting one. Thank you. Okay. Patty says, Larry, serious question. Why haven't we as human beings moved past sending our children to kill other people's children and think we get peace by doing that? I think the reason may sound silly, but I think it's true. We don't have enough examples of that not being true. In other words, what I mean is our examples that we're taught is if you're not prepared to go to war, always you'll be taken over and you will lose everything. And I think that's why we think that. And in certain cases, that's true. I'm not naive. In certain areas, that is absolutely true, right? Not in ours. America is very lucky in where we are. Mexico is not going to invade. Canada's not going to invade. We are basically unable to be invaded right now. We are one of the safest, if not the safest countries in the world right now. For invasion, that is, for invasion. The damage that people can do to us is not that. It's other things, cyber or economic or, bad actions like the 9/11s and stuff. That kind of stuff we're still susceptible to, obviously. But to an invasion, we're not. And we should understand that, and we should act accordingly. But we don't. I think we've been taught this. We hear all the time. If it wasn't for whatever, we'd be speaking German now or whatever. Or we'd be speaking Russian now. That was never going to happen. That was never going to happen. That's TV shows. That was never going to happen. None of that was going to happen. That's all TV shows, movies and books and stuff. America's not going to be invaded. It's just not a thing. Not for any time in the near future. So I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. I think that's about it, though. So Instant Defense says, bring back the Western revolver. I don't like guns. There is a sexy thing for those of you who like firearms. There is something sexy about a revolver. There is. I think most people would agree with that. There's something sexy about it. But I'm old school. I like old firearms. Like people ask me, what's my favorite handgun? 1911. I do. It's an old rickety thing, but man, you could throw it in the sand, throw it in the water, pick it up, and that thing will fire in 5 seconds. I mean, it's right 5 in a second. It'll fire right away. It's a tough firearm. I know I take it apart. I probably still take it apart now. I probably could still. I don't know. It's been many years. But I probably still take it apart. You throw a bunch of oil in that thing and it keeps going. It'll keep going. And it's a big round that'll drop somebody. So I like the old school. That's me. I know a lot of people don't. They like new stuff, but I do like there's something sexy about a revolver. It's just I've never had a revolver when I was in the military. By the time I got into the military, we were using the 9mm by then. But when I go to the range, sometimes I'd fire a revolver, and I like the revolver. There's something sexy about it. Something old school. There is something cool about a revolver. I agree. But if I was in trouble, I would not want a revolver. I mean, in theory, you would because it's not going to jam. But if you have a good weapon and you know how to use it, your weapon won't jam, right? So, yeah, it is. The good thing about a revolver is it can't jam. That's the good thing about it. But if I'm in trouble, I'd rather have a 1911. I would. So, any case. Proud Vet says, I opened myself up to blue MAGA. They sound like they are accusing red MAGA of being. They reacted to J.D. Vance in the debate exactly as if he was Trump spewing things off the top of his head. That's funny. I know some of you may not know what that thing is. The idea of blue MAGA is there are many people who are more left-leaning, whether they are actually socialists or just left-leaning or just anti-war, but they're not Democrats because they don't like the establishment Democrats. And that group of people will often call the blue no matter who Democrats blue MAGA. So for those who don't know, that's a saying they actually use. Yes, I hang around lefties and righties. I do, both of them. I do. So I know these terms. So they will call it blue MAGA. So they will call people like Harris is great because everything. That side of the Democratic Party, or of the left, I should say, not Democratic, but that side of the left will say that's blue MAGA. Doesn't matter. Blue no matter who. They don't care. Yes, I think you're right. And I think you do see some similarities. I think you do. Right? The people who would vote for Trump no matter what, whether he does bad things or not, and people who vote for Harris no matter what, whether he does bad things or not, there are some similarities. I would agree with you. There are some. So, yes. All righty. Jennifer says, well, we have 2 crazy wars and a hurricane. You're not wrong. We do. We have both. We have both. I said both. I'm Canadian today. So how Canadians say both? I just made that up. You got to have booth, eh? That's my Canadian accent. Was it good? I hope it was. Kim says, if 6 keys fall away from the incumbent party lose. There we go. Okay, so they have to have 7 and not. Yes, you get it. That's the thing. That's the thing. So I forgot what is he? It's called the keys, right? It is called the keys. Okay. All right. All righty. Let's see here. Let me grab some more of this if I can. All right. Lichman says Harris is the incumbent. Harris doesn't want to be the incumbent. See, yes, thank you, Daniel. This is why I'm not sure, right? You bring up a great point, Daniel. For those who don't know, the keys, one of them is you are the incumbent or not the incumbent. Those are keys. Lichman says Harris is the incumbent, but Harris's messaging is she's not the incumbent. You fit that perfectly, Daniel. Her messaging is, well, Trump's the incumbent. We got to change it all. It's wrong, right? The whole deal. We got to change everything. It's not the way it is. So her messaging is the opposite. So yes, absolutely. All righty. Let's see here. People like barbecue. I see that. Yes. Matt says, thank you for the explanation. I'm glad you thought that. I'm glad it helped. Yes. Grace says, actually, George W. Bush has done a lot of work for AIDS patients in Africa. That's true. The Africans love W. You're right. They do. If he goes to Africa, remember he was doing that dance for the Africans? They teased him about he was doing that stupid dance he was doing. Oh, because Africans love him. Bush goes to Africa, parades. They love him. You're totally correct. He really did. I always give credit where credit is due. I'm not a big fan of George W. Bush for the wars he got us into. I'm not at all. I think that was terrible. Some of the worst foreign policy we've ever done was getting into the Iraq war and getting into Afghanistan war. And that's his fault. That's on him, and terrible. With that in mind, that what he did for AIDS patients in Africa is great. You're right, Grace. I try to give credit where credit is will do. So yes, 100%. So Joseph says, Larry, you say you were a tough guy, but not anymore. Name a few things that changed you. I'm still a tough guy. Nah. What changed me, Joseph, is getting my ass kicked, falling on my ass horribly. That's what changed me. My mom being an addict when I was a teenager and having to pull out of prison and watching how the system works. Me having to build a business from scratch. 2010, my business collapsing at the same time my daughter almost died and contemplating suicide, which I say, if people ask me, I have. In 2010, it was so bad for me, I contemplated suicide. That's how bad it was. Those things have changed me. Those things have humbled me. So yeah, I think those things have really humbled me tremendously, making me rethink things in my life and learning a very important lesson, which I hope all of you will take to heart because it's true. If fate wants to punch you in the face, it will. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how dumb you are, how rich you are, how poor you are, what position you're in, what race you are, gender, does not matter. If fate wants to punch you in the face, you're getting punched. That's how it works. And it will do it whenever it feels. And you have no say. Fate will just punch you. That's how it works. The question is, how will you react? Because there's no recourse. Fate is ultimately powerful, and you have no recourse. You can't stop it, and there's no revenge. You just got punched. Okay, what are you going to do? And boy, did I learn that. So if anything changed me, I think it was those things. In 2010. 2010 was the worst year of my life. Business destroyed, family destroyed, personally destroyed, all together. It's, by the way, that's when I went on keto. I've been in the keto 14 years because 2010. That's when I started to change my life around. From that point, I've been to change my life around. I went in the keto lifestyle. I've been keto lifestyle ever since. How can I keep this skinny body without being keto? So yes, you asked what changed me. I think those several things. And of course, my father dying when I was a kid, right? My father died when I was 11, which was devastating. My mom was an addict when I was 18, 19, 20. That was devastating. She went to prison, lost everything, lost my entire childhood. She lost the entire house and everything in it. So my entire childhood is gone. I have nothing from my childhood. It's all gone. All of it. She lost everything. So she literally had 2 garbage bags when she came out of prison, because I know I was there when I pulled her out. So I was there when she got out. And that was her whole life, was 2 garbage bags. They gave her garbage bags. That's what she had. I'm not joking. Black garbage bags, 2 of them. I remember very vividly. So that's what she had when she got out of prison. And everything I'd built up as a kid, everything was, all my stuff was gone. And I joke sometimes, but it is kind of hurtful when I think about what I had done. Like, I'd left stuff at my house when I joined the Marine Corps. And I thought I was coming back home. I always thought I was. Silly me. And I didn't take it with me. I thought, why bother? I literally had a massive comic book collection. What a geek I am, because I had comics, tons of them. I had, some of you are just going to vomit when I say this. I had an original Avengers #1 from 1966. Some of you just fell out of your chair. Correct. Or Iron Man #1. For those of you who are comic people, you know what that was worth. I used to go to creation comic conventions and buy and swap and trade. And that's how I got it. I'm not old enough to have bought an Avengers #1, but I could get one back in the 70s, back in the early 80s, tons of them. For those of you who remember, I had the original comic where the first time DC and Marvel did a compilation. It was in the 70s. It was 1978. It was Spider-Man versus Superman. It was a big comic, a bigger size comic. First time DC and Marvel characters were ever together, ever. I think it was 78, 77, 78, in that area. I forgot when it was, in that area. I had that one too, had them all. I had baseball cards. I lived as a kid, I lived in the South Bronx. But I grew up in a very poor neighborhood in the South Bronx. You know where it is if you guys know where Yankee Stadium is. I grew up across from Yankee Stadium. And I would go get signatures. I had every signature from every Yankee, 1975, 1976. And I had all the baseball cards, all the Yankees and all the Red Sox. It was a big Red Sox. I mean, it still is, but it was a massive Red Sox Yankees, problem in the 70s. We were all fighting each other, right? Terrible, right? Had every Red Sox, every Yankee baseball card, 75, 76, 77, 78. All gone. Everything I had, all my old TV, all my stuff, T-shirts, everything I had as a kid, all my old games, all gone. Lost everything, my entire childhood. So when that went away, when I was like 19 years old, and not having a house and not having a home to go to, my home was the Marine Corps. There was no going home. I'm an only child. My father was dead. My mom was in prison. The one advantage is, and this is going to sound horrible, those of you in the military know this, during the holidays, Christmas and Easter, whatever, someone has to be on duty all the time. Someone has to be, right? Well, I would take duties. I get money for it. I get paid to do it. Why? I had no home to go to. Everyone else they went home for Christmas. They went home for Easter. I had no home to go to. My home was my barracks. That was my home. I had no place to go. So I'll take your duty. I'll be on duty. $100. I'll take your duty. Really? Yeah, give me $100. Take your duty. You give me $100. They go off to vacation. Go home with their family. I'm in the barracks the whole day. I don't care. Where am I going? No place. So I think those things in my life changed me, made me think differently about stuff, right? I think those did. So my father passing, my mom going to prison, me pulling her out, and then my own life collapsing in 2010. My daughter was had open heart surgery at 18 days old. We thought we were gonna lose her. That was devastating. So I hope I answered questions at least. So yes. All righty. That Liberty says, Larry, I don't think you realize how awesome it is that you do these AMAs. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yes. I'm trying to give you more of who I am so that you will give me more of who you are. Right? I can't point my finger at you until I point my finger at myself. I can't ask things of you unless I ask things of myself. It's unfair. Dave says, Easy Pass is also in Chicago. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know it goes that far. Wow. Last I remembered, it was only East Coast. So that has changed. That's good. I appreciate that. Yes. All righty. All right. So we can go down here. Some more of these. Nancy says, I love the panel chats a lot. The panels get heated sometimes. They do. People, the panels get heated. They do. Absolutely. Right? Says, Larry is honest is the best part. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that. I do try to be honest, 100%. Yes. Kim says, you have the absolute best show, hands down. Ooh, look at that. I love that. That's awesome. There we go. I love that. 100%. The Liberty Lady says, can Dio Cummings come on your show? Of course. Just ask. Of course. Absolutely. I've been on his show, twice now, right? Haven't I? Was it once? I forgot. Yeah. Pickleball says, doesn't France have the most nukes? No, I do not believe they do, but they have the most up-to-date nukes. The French have done the most recent tests. No, maybe the Russians just started. Since the Ukraine war, the Russians have done nuclear testing recently, last couple years. Prior to that, the French did the most recent ones. The French have the most updated, if I'm not mistaken. But no, not the most. Russia has the most. Russia has the most actual nukes. French have the most updated nukes. And to maybe recently, I'm not sure. Recently, the Russians have done new testing, but I think the French, I think they do. Yes, absolutely. Mostly with power plants. Thank you. Yes, is that what you meant? AC, thank you for coming to my defense there. Yes. Okay. Did you mean power plant? Yes, nuclear power plants. The French have the most nuclear power plants, and also some of the most up to date. Also, yes, both of those two, 100%. But when it comes to actual nuclear weapons, no, it's Russia has the most. France has the most updated that I remember last, but it may have changed. It may have changed. So yes. All right. Let me grab a couple more of these here. Peace Logic has already owned that book. Great. Yes, it's a great book. These are good. Pinkerbell says audiobooks are life. I got to tell you, I haven't read a book in the traditional way in years. Almost all of my books now are audio. I use Audible. That's my preferred method. I like Audible. And I have tons of Audible books. I always have one in my ear at one point, constantly. So yeah, I agree. I spend a lot of time ingesting Audible books. A lot. So yes. The AC says, he's a hypnotist. I'm interested. That too, he's an influencer in general. Kevin Hogan's brilliant. He's brilliant. Absolutely, he's brilliant. I'm going to bring him back on my show again. It's been a while. It's been probably 2 years, more, 3 years maybe. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while. I'll bring him back on my show. He's great. He's savvy. He's smart. He's funny. He's a great guy. 100%. Yeah. Missy posted the link. Thank you, Missy. You are the best. I do appreciate it. You are the best. Thank you so much. Yes. Kim goes, common sense is the most important. That gets you out of stuff, Kim. And people, they think, well, it doesn't matter because I'm smart or he's smart. Common sense, big deal. You are correct, right? The street smarts matter. They really do. They really do. AC goes on to say, if your IQ is too high, you're less likely to care. Also true, because you lack empathy. Correct. Also accurate too. Yes. That's why the higher your IQ in business, once you get past a certain amount, odds of success go down. The people who are doing well hire the people with high IQs, right? But the bosses aren't the high IQ. The bosses are the guys, to Kim's point, who have common sense, right? That's what those guys are. Yes. Peace, Lodge. Thank you for $20. I appreciate it, man. Brother, you're an inspiration. I don't say that lightly. I've been through some stuff. I know how old you are, LOL. I was born in Germany, July 4th, 1968. I'm 8 days older than you. Thank you. Yes. Sending more love. Yes. Another German. There are lots of us. Don't forget the H-man was Austrian. Take that, Austria. Not German. Thank you for that, Peace, Lodge. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Yes. All righty. Missy says, I was a Dem for 25 years. Left in 2017. I will never, ever go back. Wow. It is interesting. Wow. Okay. I like that. Darren Strayer says, Darren Brown is a magician that reveals the mentalist sales tricks. He's not a magician. I know Darren Brown. He's a British guy. He's brilliant. If you look at he has a lot of stuff online. You told right, Daniel. Darren Brown is brilliant. He's British, but he's not a magician. He's a mentalist. And what's the difference, right, between a mentalist and a magician? A magician pretends that it's magic, right? He pretends. A mentalist tells you it's not. That's the difference. A mentalist says, you do tricks, right? But it's just mental gymnastics, right? It's not magic powers. That's the difference. So Darren Brown is actually a mentalist. You're correct. And he's brilliant. One of the things he does is he actually debunks a lot of stuff and shows you why things don't work, how they can't work, how they are done. And the good thing about him that's great is he will tell you what he's doing and it still works. That's what I love about it. He'll say, I'm going to do this thing on you. And you go, what? Yes. He'll tell you. He'll say, Jess, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and you will think that. And you're like, no, you won't. Then he'll do it and you'll do it. Like that's how good he is. He's very good. His stuff is very interesting. I'm a big Darren Brown fan. Is he still doing stuff now? I haven't seen anything from him in a while. I don't know if he's very active anymore. He used to do a TV show years ago. Or was this like a Netflix thing? He's got some shows. I forgot what it is. I feel like maybe it's BBC. I know he's British, that I'm sure of. But yeah, he's great. I love that stuff. That is very good. So, all right, so if I can grab this here, some more of these. All right, Peace Logic says, thank you again for being a member. I think it would be interesting for you to have a show on aesthetics and psychology behind it. Good-looking people are automatically more trusted. True. We need to understand it's better. That's the law that he brings up of likability. There are 6 laws. One of them is the law of likability. And likability can be personality, can also be looks, right? And it does increase the odds that you will trust somebody. It sounds dumb, but it's true. If you like somebody, you're more likely to trust them. Again, doesn't mean 100%, but you are more likely to trust them. So yes. So then Pete's going to say, do we trust that because of his good looks? Correct. That is the right answer. It's because I'm so suddenly handsome. I am so suddenly handsome that you trust me. It's true. My good looks just get rid of everything else. 100%. You're correct. So yes. All righty. He goes on to say a revolver can jam. You mean if you load it? How does the revolver jam? You got to help me on that one. If you load it poorly? I don't know. Gray says, well, my husband was a grunt in a tank battalion. He hates tanks. That's good. That is very good. Patty says, I watched a show that says self-employed people who run farms and ranches IQ is somewhere in the 140 range on average. I think that's to do with the healthier eating and constant exercise. What do you think? Yes, the reality of it is most of your IQ is genetic, right? Not all of it is, but most of it is genetic. But most people will tell you that your IQ can be shifted, give or take, about 10 points either way through your environment. So poor diet, poor health will lower your IQ. Better diet, better health will raise your IQ. And again, around 140. I was saying around 135 in that area. That's like the perfect one for people who are self-employed. That's the right in that area. I think that's correct. And I do think you wind up having a higher percentage if you are doing the right things, right? Good exercise, good lifestyle can raise your IQ. Some people think more than 10 points. I'm not sure if that's really accurate because IQ is, generally speaking, it's much more genetic than many other things, but it can be raised by things you're doing or lowered by things you're doing, of course. And street smarts count. Street smarts and what people in my field call grit, which means your ability to keep going when things are tough, right? Hard work is important, but hard work when you're failing or things are bad is more important. That's grit. Can you keep going when things are failing? That is one of the number one ways that you show you're going to be successful is by doing that. Grit is more important than IQ, more important than EQ. Grit's the number one thing. Grit is more important than hard work because if you're doing hard work because your boss is paying you, that doesn't mean you'll be successful. But doing hard work when things are bad, that means you're going to want to be successful. Increases the odds. Nothing's a guarantee here. Nothing's a guarantee. Rye Sticker says, I was in the military and I 100% agree with the Second Amendment. That being said, my opinion is 75% of people aren't responsible to own one. Again, I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to. No, I get your point. I do. And right now we are so far away from that. I would take it just, you get it, but you have a test or something. I would even take that in theory, whatever, but state level, maybe, if anything, maybe. That's about it. So Grace says the classic EAG tattoo never gets old. EAG. Oh my God, I've heard that in a while. EAG, for those who don't know, is Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. Yes. So it's the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. I do not have that. I have a USMC. Many people have the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, which is actually the symbol of the Marine Corps. As if you look, you can see it is right there. That is my Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. And then over is my rank of Staff Sergeant. I got that also in the Philippines. And you can't see it, but above here, this is Marines on Mount Suribachi with the American flag raising it. That's what that is. You probably can't see it though. But yes. So, all right. Now he's giving me hell. Thank you, user banned by naughty words for using naughty words. It's all a boot Canada, eh? It is. It's true. It is. Yes. Joel says, I think the M2 Browning 50 caliber was an amazing piece for its long-time uses. Correct. Yes. But I think it's done though. But yes, I agree. I'm with you 100%. I think it's done. I feel like that's the end. So yes. All righty. I'm glad there's going back and forth also. I hope I'm going to grab as many of these as I possibly can. Jennifer says, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Larry. Yeah, it is true. That's what happened. I tell my story often. You're a hell of a guy, Larry. We love you out here. Oh, thank you, my friend. That's great. That is great. Glad you're still around. Yes, I did not follow through, obviously, but I did. Yes. Jess says, pain and trauma can sometimes make the best people. They feel deep. True. Yes. True. Absolutely true. Sometimes you got to go through some stuff to feel some stuff, right? Like you kind of got to go through stuff. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Peace Logic. Missy Richmond, are you part of Larry's staff and show? Yes, Missy is. Missy has been with me for 7 years. And none of you can have her, ever. She is mine. You may not have her. Yes, she actually has been here for a long time, and she cannot go away. So, yes, no. Yes. The AC says, true, Larry, but it's more likely if you have no resources. That I'm not sure where that came from. If it's more likely to if you have no resources. I'm not sure where that's going. I must have missed something. Okay. Instant defense. Oh, I get it. Yes, it's more likely to. No, that's not true. No. Okay, you're saying fate will punch you in the face. That's not true. Not true. What is true is you will not be able to respond as effectively. The more resources you have, the more options you have, right? That's the glory of resources. You'll still get punched, whether you have lots of resources or not. Now, fate decides whatever it wants to, whenever it wants to. But if you have more resources, you have more options. You have more ability to bounce back. That's the issue, right? If fate punches me in the face and I have no resources, that might be the end of me. If fate punches me and I have resources, the odds are I can recover because I have the resources. I may not be able to. I mean, depends. My personality will also decide. I might just throw my resources away. I may screw up. I may get worse. But no, I disagree completely, AC. Fate does not care if you have resources or not. How you recover from that can depend upon your resources. Clearly, the more you have, the better chance you're going to recover. I have more options. I have more choices, of course, right? So if something bad happens to me and I can go do things that someone without resources can't do. So there's more resources than me can do more things. So and again, doesn't mean it's recoverable. Sometimes when fate punches you, that's it. Christopher Reeve, as an example, right? Heath Ledger, people like that who are popular, who just gone, can't recover from that, right? Impossible. So, any case, Peace Logic says, "Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Larry, what are your feelings about the world? Are we going to make it? Are things corrupted to save us?" That's a great question. I feel like yes, we can make it. The question is, what do we have to go through to make it happen, right? And sadly, right now, we are in a terrible spot. We are in a very bad place right now. What I mean by that, the world in general is struggling to be happy. And you might go, wait a minute, Larry, that sounds kind of dumb. We're the most advanced. Yeah. Happiness is not about resources. Don't get me wrong, to my earlier point with the AC, you have more options to be happy when you have more resources. That's correct. But you can be happy and not be wealthy. That's not required, right? You have to have 3 things to be happy. You have to feel loved. You have to feel respected. You have to have purpose. If those 3 things are true, you can be happy. Now, again, having more resources makes all 3 of those things easier. No question, of course. But now if you look, a lot of us have lots of resources and still have none of those 3 or only one of those 3 or 2 of those 3. People are unhappy. Unhappy people do bad things. Hurt people hurt, right? Hurt people hurt others, right? That's what happens. And that's what the world is in many places, not just America. It's in China. It's in Europe. It's all over the place. It's in South America. People aren't getting together. People aren't getting married. People aren't having good jobs. People aren't starting businesses. People aren't getting educated. I mean, a lot of things aren't happening. People aren't doing what makes them happy. So we're in a bad spot. We're going to have to get ourselves out of the spot. But humans have been through dark ages in the past many times. The difference we're going to have now is in the past, all of our dark ages have been regional, right? So for example, if there's dark age in Europe, the Muslim world is exploding and doing well. Dark age in the Muslim world, the Asian world's doing well, right? Or whatever, right? There's dark ages were regional. My worry is we may go into a worldwide dark ages. That's my worry. Or dark age. That's my worry. A worldwide dark age would be really tough for us all. There may be lots of pain, a lot of disruption, but I think we can come out better. So I do think that we can be saved. My worry is what do we have to go through to make that happen? Because a lot of unhappy people. And if there's 8 billion people and 7 billion are unhappy, we're in a dark age. And dark age is where people do dumb things, hurt each other. Nothing moves forward, nothing but pain, except for a couple of wealthy people who run things, which is where we're heading towards right now anyway. So my gut says yes, but we have to go through a dark age. Remember, after the dark ages came the Renaissance, right? The Renaissance did come out of it, right? And that was obviously in Europe. I think it's going to be a worldwide dark age and then a worldwide Renaissance. That is my gut. Now, the question is, how do we hold ourselves up through that? How does America hold itself up through that dark age? I think it's through freedom. I do. I think it's through freedom. And maybe it's because I'm libertarian, but that's what I think. It's not going to be through authoritarianism. That's not how it works. That's not the way forward. That's not how that works. It's not through, my king or my emperor versus your king or your emperor. That's not how that works. So I think it's through freedom. So are we too corrupted to be saved? No. Are we too corrupted for our world to miss the dark ages? Probably. I think that's how it works. So I hope I answered your question at least. Maybe it wasn't the best answer, but that's what I think. So, okay. All righty. Alexa says, I have one thing from my childhood, a piano trinket. Oh, that's cute. That must be very important to you, right? That must be very important to you. Yeah. Dave says, did you lose weight under keto? Yep. 40 pounds. 40 pounds. Never put it back on. Yep. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it now because you asked. All within 1 week, 3 things happened to me all within 1 week. My my daughter had to go and have open heart surgery at 18 days, 18 days old, and we thought she was going to die, and she was just born. At that point, my wife packs up and leaves me and just moves into the hospital. Wasn't mad at her for it. Any mom would do it. Totally understandable. No worries. The only problem is I had a 6-year-old at the time. So I all of a sudden went from being not the primary caregiver to being a single dad of a 6-year-old overnight without a wife. She was off in the hospital. I was not on her mind. She was worried about our 18-day-old baby. Again, as she should. That's fine. But I'm sitting here all of a sudden okay, number one. So I can't protect my daughter, my youngest daughter. I'm now single dad to my oldest daughter. Same week, my mom gets diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Maybe she has a year left. That's it. She's gone. That's it. Done. That fast. And same time, my business was completely collapsing from the crash of 2009. By 2010, I was over 6 figures in debt, had to fire my employees, shut my business down. I had a nice, cool office on 3rd Avenue. Thought I was the toughest guy in the world, cool guy. Nobody could beat me. Had a training facility in my office. Oh, I'm the coolest guy around. And now I'm broke, flat broke, in debt, mom dying, daughter dying, lost my wife, single dad, in trouble, don't know what to do. That was my lowest point. That was 2010. So I don't drink. For those of you who know me, I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any of that stuff. So my stress answer was eat. And I ate everything. I ate all of the food. I want it all. Literally, I would have, I'm not joking. I tell a story often. Those of you who know me know the story. I would have a full pizza, the whole pizza, and a 2-liter of Coke for lunch. That's just lunch. And I was like, this is normal. Everyone does this. I was in such denial that I couldn't understand how I was destroying myself. And I had no one around me. I had no wife to go, what are you doing? My daughter at this point is 6. She has no idea. She's like, great, pizza again. She doesn't understand what's happening. She has no idea. She's 6. And most of my friends were business associates. And I was trying to rebuild my business. So I couldn't let them know how I was collapsing because I was trying to make new deals with them all. So I was collapsing. I put on tons of weight. I was up to 240. At that point, I realized I was in trouble because I was trying to get myself back together and get back in action. So I went to put my suits on and I couldn't fit in my suit. No way. I was way too big with my suit. I couldn't fit in. I'm like, I'm in trouble. That was what broke the scale from my eyes wasn't the mirror because I was in denial. So I couldn't see it. Wasn't the food or the food bill because I was in denial. I couldn't see it. It was that I physically couldn't put my suit on. I was too big. I physically it would not close. Okay, I can't go to work now. We got a problem. And I thought, how in the world am I going to fix this? How am I going to do something that is both simple, that I'll actually do, but hard, right? Simple, but not easy. You get the difference, right? Simple. Okay, I know. And I also knew that diets don't work. Change your lifestyle or don't waste your time, right? Diets are useless. Change your lifestyle or don't waste your time. So, well, I could become a gym rat, right? I was in the Marine Corps, used to go to the gym a lot and become a gym rat. But now I don't have time. I'll make excuses. I won't do it. Okay, that's not going to work. Count calories. I could do that there. I can't do that. It's going to be I said, you know what? No carb. I could just not eat carbs. That's simple, but it's hard, but it's simple. I'll do that. And I was a fanatic. And for like 2 months straight, I ate literally like beef, eggs, water. It was crazy. I was an utter fanatic. But the weight fell off of me. I lost 40 pounds in 2 months. Fell off of me. Just fell off of me. 40 pounds, 2 months, gone. Never went back. Now, I'm not as fanatic now anymore. Now I just have a normal lifestyle. I do once in a while eat carbs here or there. But for that, I was fanatical. And I will tell you, while being that fanatical may not be good for your physical health, it was amazing for my mental health. My mental health, because I believe, Dave, at this point, I can control nothing. I felt like my world was ending. I couldn't control my family, my friends. I could control nothing. My world was ending. And I had no power to do anything. I was a loser. I was just terrible. I was worthless. Why would I want to be here? That's what I was thinking. Just taking control of my diet, something so stupid, something so minor, but taking control of my diet, saying, no, I will not have any carbs. I had no carbs, 0. I didn't have a vegetable. That's how crazy I was. It was meat, eggs, water, coffee. That's all I ate for 2 months. Every meal. I'm not even joking. I wish I was joking. I was not joking. I was that hardcore. But that made me feel like I can take care of this. I can do something, right? I have control. I can fix something. And that saved that saved everything. From that, I began to go, well, I can get back into action. I can do this. I can do that. And I built everything back up from 2010 because of a stupid keto diet that I'm still on to this day. This right here, water. That's it. Or if you see that another cup, it's coffee. That's all I drink. I've been that way forever, and I keep my weight down. And yes, I know I went long on that, but I answered your question at least, as I try to always do whenever I can. So, all right, let me see if I can go down here. Riot says, I always took the barracks holiday duties. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. See, military guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, 100%. That's what happened all the time. Yes. Mike says, oh shit, Avengers #1. Yes, I know. That thing's worth like 5 figures now. If I had that, that's 5 figures right now. It's crazy. Absolutely. Yes, it is. It's nuts. So Pinkamel says, whoa. Oh, thank you, Pinkamel. Nancy says, that's an awesome and amazing story. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. The Anticorporate says, Larry's a very empathetic person. I'll give you a detail on that. I am insanely, like a problem, empathetic sometimes. When I was a kid, the one thing, you were asking about what changed me, right? My father's death when I was 11 changed me tremendously. It literally changed how my brain worked. When I was younger, 7, 8, 9, I would cry often because I could feel people's pain. I remember watching TV and people or a movie or something, and somebody would be cut or hurt on TV, and I could feel it. I would literally see it happen. I would cry when someone was hurt. And that's how empathetic I was as a kid. It was like a problem. Like, you can't be an 8-year-old boy in school and be empathetic. That's a problem, right? But like, it was an issue. Like, I had a lot of that feeling. But when my dad died, it was such a shock to my system mentally that I became able, out of self-defense, to become the opposite. And I mean utterly apathetic. It's one of the reasons why I can be both empathetic and apathetic. Like, understand what they're thinking, but not have a moral judgment on it. If that makes any sense, right? At that point, the empathy is, I'll give you another crazy story. True story too. People who know me know the story. When my dad died, I couldn't remember the day. My brain could not handle it. The empathy would have destroyed me. My brain literally put a black box around it. I could not remember how I was told. I couldn't remember the day I was told. I couldn't remember the date. Literally, I would go to his gravesite. He's buried on Long Island, out at Calverton. He's the veterans cemetery at Calverton out on Suffolk County. So I'd go out there. I'd look at his tombstone. Well, he's got a plate. His plate. Look at his plate. Know the date. Turn. Forget it. I couldn't remember. People would say, when'd your dad die? I got him. I was a kid. I couldn't remember the date. I couldn't remember how old I was. I couldn't remember how old I was or the date until I was in my 20s. For over 10 years, my brain literally blocked that day. People would say, how'd you know? I go, I don't remember. I don't remember. What? You remember? I don't remember. I couldn't remember that my mom told me. I couldn't remember that time. I couldn't remember it. That's how my brain just said, that never happened. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Larry, never happened. Go on with your life. Never happened. Nothing to see here. And it took me literally 10 years before I could actually remember everything, do it, the whole deal. It took me forever. I think I was just too much. So Joseph says, wow, Larry, thank you so much for sharing those personal experiences. It's hugely helpful. I have so much respect for you. Love your show. Oh, thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Mike says, love the panel chats. I get fired up. Bring me to the left to feast on. I think that's true. Yes. Kim says, brings tears to my eyes. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, guys. I do appreciate that. Yes, 100%. Nancy says, look at the room Larry's in and wonder if he's on a boat or an addict. It's nice. It's a Quonset hut bunker. I'm in my bunker because stuff's getting bad. See, Peace Logic already said so. Stuff's getting bad. So I got to get ready. Yes, I got to get ready. 100%. I appreciate that. Yes. All right. Let me grab some more of these if I can. All righty. Pinkerbell says, yeah, I can't sit long enough to read a book. I wear out the Audible subscription. I do too. Yeah, I do what is it? 1 credit per month or whatever they give you. They give you credits every once in a while, whatever that thing is. They give you a bunch of those. So yes. Jess says, nothing replaces the sound of a turning page or the smell of a book. LOL, I've never read an online book. I do like books. I do like them. I mean, I grew up in books, right? I do like them. But yeah, I do. Yeah, I do like them, but I can't do it anymore. Right? I can't do it. That's the problem. I just can't do it anymore. It's the problem. That's the problem. I don't have enough time. And to Pinkerbell's point, when I'm out doing things, I can put it in my ear and listen. So Sassy says, hey, Larry, grit is absolutely necessary to get through the most brutal things in life. Yes. No matter how little I have and lost, I keep fighting and get back up. Yes, I'm tired though. You know what? As you get older, right? I think sometimes it gets harder. I think you're right. Sometimes you're like, no more, right? No more. Yeah, 100%. Joseph says, some people have tons of resources, but are also self-destructive. Yeah, also true. Or have other personal weaknesses. Correct. Yeah. Resources doesn't mean, right, that you'll be successful. It just increases the odds because you've got more choices, more things to do. It increases the odds. That's why I keep saying nothing's guaranteed, right? Nothing's guaranteed, but the odds may shift, right, in your favor if you have more resources. But again, you might still screw up, Joseph. You're right. 100%. Yes. So Joseph goes on to say, a worldwide awkward age would be better than a worldwide dark age. Agreed. I'd like that instead. But yes. Thanks for being a member, by the way. I do appreciate that. Yes. All righty. Mary says, you are very wise. Like, oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. That is very, thank you. That's great. Yes. All righty. Instant Defense says starvation works. It can. You're not wrong. It can work. You're not wrong. It can work, but it's probably not the way you would want to do that. But yes, that's a way. Yes, absolutely. So Richard says, hey, Uncle Larry, you have my vote for the write-in ballot for president. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Michael says, no beer. No beer. Yeah. I'm not really a drinker anyway. Like I don't drink anyway, but yeah, no beer for me. But I will drink. Look, I'm not fanatical anymore. So if like I'm out with friends on a holiday or something, will I drink sometimes? Sure. I'm not against alcohol. I mean, it's not my thing. I don't require anything to loosen me up to talk, in case you hadn't noticed. So I will sometimes, but not that big of a deal. I will if I can. And if I do drink, I prefer darker things like stouts and stuff like that. I prefer that when I drink beer, but it's very rare. I may drink beer once a year, maybe sometimes once every 2 years. There has to be a reason for me. Like I don't have beer in my house. Like I'm not going to have beer here. But if I go and people are drinking, here or there, I will. Depends, but not very much. I'm nowhere near as fanatic anymore. Now it's a lifestyle for me. I was as fanatic then because I needed it. That was the issue. Peace, Logic. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the $50. Thank you so much. Empathy is important. I lost my entire family in 15 months. Oh my God. I can imagine how that begins to just wear on someone after loss, after loss, after loss. Right? I mean, when we have loss and we're able to recover and get back into that world of normalism again, and then have a loss, it still sucks, but you can handle it better. But I know some of you who are listening or watching, if you've had, lost, then lost, then lost, it just becomes overwhelming. It's like, when is it going to stop? Like, stop punching me, fate. I get a punch. I get it. Not 2, not 3, not 4. Stop punching. I feel, yes, that's the worst. That's the worst. I mean, look, no one likes losing family. Nobody does. It hurts everybody. But to lose everybody in a short time is just so devastating compared to being able to just slowly lose them and still have the others to kind of be there with you to deal with it. It makes it less bad. It doesn't make it good, but it's less bad. So yeah, he goes on to say, we all have a story. Your mission and love coincides with mine. You're a good soul. Oh, thank you. Looking forward to collaborating. We love moments of sadness. We need to rise above it. 100%. 100%. And it's easier said than done, right? It's easier said than done. Yes. So, all righty. Let's see here. That's not for me. Sorry. Peanut Butter says trauma does change our brains. Correct. It does. That's true. Yes. You're absolutely right. Grace says, I think your empathy and political savvy is the LP needs to use more effectively. You and Spike bring such compassion to the party, but it does not get used like it should. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. 100% true. You're totally right. Yes. All right. If I can grab these last couple ones. Pieces. Love Guinness beer. Yeah. Thank you. Dark beers. I do prefer those. I like stouts. I do like them very much. Yes. It's defense is one glass for Larry. There we go. Yes. There we go. There we go. See, it's the same thing. AC, how does it involve a jam? I don't know. I think he's just saying that. Oh, anything can jam. Stop. See, we were right. Pick about. We were right. AC's talking trash. He's talking trash. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Yeah. Daniel Storia said, oh, to Missy, Dr. Eckberg. I like Dr. Eckberg. I think he's pretty good. I like him. As you know, he's one of the guys on YouTube, talks about that kind of stuff. He's pretty good. Yes, absolutely. Guys, I'm going to ask you one more time. Please click that button that is like if you haven't already. If you like my stories, if you like what I'm saying, show me you do by clicking the button that is like. It does matter. Every bit does count. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, please share this. If you haven't subscribed or follow whatever you're watching on, please do that. The more you do, the more chance more people will see this, and that does matter tremendously. Thank you so much for the super chats. And membership is a big deal. If you want to become a member, please do so. You know, I'm trying to grab member chats whenever I possibly can. I go for the members first, always. And at one point, with enough members, I'll start doing member-only shows at one point if we have enough members. That'd be kind of cool. When the time comes, we're not there yet. But if we can, please do so. Click the join button. $5 a month to become a member. It does matter. Please help out to the best of your ability. I'll do more of this and less of other things. Guys, I want to say I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I will not be on tomorrow, but I will be on Sunday. I will be on, not Sunday, Monday. I will be on Monday and Tuesday also. My normal regular show on Tuesday, my radio show, and then the evening show also. I'll see you all very soon, guys. And please, of course, afterwards, if you want to help out Mr. Rhythm, Al Gore, Rhythm, put a comment after this is done. I will see you all.